This is ESPN on ABC, brought to you in part by Samsung QLED TV, the official TV of ESPN College Football.
Tonight, the unbeaten Clemson Tigers come to Boston. Frigid weather is a first for freshman phenom Trevor Lawrence, who arrives coatless but confident. It's a homecoming for tackle Christian Wilkins, who embraces the cold and promises an inspired performance. The BC Eagles have worked and waited years for a night like this, in the spotlight, with an opportunity for the school's signature home win. Can they take down the Tigers and shake up the ACC race? Temperatures near freezing in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. Welcome to Saturday Night Football, presented by Walmart. It's part of Veterans Week, presented by USAA. And tonight's game between undefeated number 2 Clemson, the highest ranked visitor here since 2003, against the 17th ranked 7-2 BC Eagles. And the atmosphere is charged up. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. A New England game in November with deep meaning. It's been a while. You know, Clemson, most folks feel like they're going to coast through the ACC into the playoff, Kirk, but I think this is the toughest remaining challenge before that bracket for them.
No question about that. Not just the conditions that have been talked about a lot this week, but I just think that Boston College is playing with a lot of confidence, and they have, especially offensively, that could be a little bit of a challenge, and we'll see if Dabo and the boys are up to it tonight.
His freshman quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, has been phenomenal, but there are still firsts for him. His first night start, his first trip north of Virginia. Visited his grandma there. Wasn't that cold? It's getting colder as Trevor heads north. He was not wearing a coat or a scarf or a hat when he got here, and he looked good in warm-up, folks.
He looked a lot taller and skinnier in warm-ups than he did there once he showed up here in the north. Some guys, when you come out on the field and you look at them, they just look different. This guy looks different. He is a pro as far as his physical attributes, and I think he's really starting to see the game slow down for him. What I want you to watch tonight is how Boston College decides to defend this offense. If they keep 2 safeties back, you're going to see a lot of the running backs led by number 9, Travis Etienne. Because if they stay back to prevent the big pass play, that's what's opened up their big plays in the running game. Now, you start to cheat a safety down tonight if you're BC. You're worried about that running game. This is a difference in the offense this year from when Kelly Bryant was running this offense. They're going to create those one-on-one opportunities. The consistency and the accuracy downfield to tall receivers like T. Higgins, number 5, is a big factor in this game, and you can see the playmakers that he has around him. The running game, the passing game, this offense is as explosive and balanced as I can remember it being, and you can even go back to the Deshaun Watson days.
Agreed. Serious challenge for a BC defense. It's been getting better and better. They've played pretty well the last 3 games. Offensively, they're on pace to break a school record for scoring. They have a lot of weapons, but this guy back here, A.J. Dillon, a rugged 250-pound back who's gritted his teeth and played through a high ankle sprain, good to go tonight.
Man, how much fun is he to watch? And you talk about guys that look the part. Steve Adazio wants big physical linemen and talented running backs, and he has that with the sophomore Dillon. Physicality will be big. If they're going to compete tonight, they've got to establish the running game, and Anthony Brown, the quarterback, has got to make some plays with his legs, and he's got to make some plays with play action, because you can't go 70 yards in 12 plays against the Clemson defense with A.J. Dillon alone. He's a big factor. He'll set the offense up, but the quarterback, Anthony Brown's going to have to make plays.
Steve Adazio's team stacked with veterans who went through a 3-win season. They waited a long time for this. Adazio says, come out swinging. Hold nothing back, and he'll need all of that and more in a couple breaks from Clemson, but he's confident, and his team is too.
He should. I mean, and almost you have nothing to lose mentality. A lot of the people nationally that are watching this game, there's no way BC can win this game. They've embraced that instead of hiding from it, and they're going to take some chances and have some fun tonight.
If they pull the upset and shake up the championship chase, they gain control of their destiny in the ACC Atlantic. The Tigers can clinch a division for a 4th straight year if they get the victory. It's coming up, the Tigers and the Eagles from Chestnut Hill.
The Nissan pregame rush is next, after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Go out, we're going to play relentless. That's our conviction. We're going to play together. That's our conviction. And we're going to have an edge and a swing. And we're going to play that way. And we're going to stay that way for 4 quarters. It won't be a 1-quarter deal. We're going to ride that game. We're going to drag it into the 4th quarter. And we're going to physically go after them. and then we're going to win it in the fourth quarter. That's the way it's going to be. We're going to play like BC. We're going to play who we are. Tough, with an edge. We are. BC. We are. BC. We are. BC.
I asked Steve Adazio, do you crank it to 11 this week? One louder. He said, no, don't have to. It's a big game. That's 11 for most coaches. That gets you ready to go. This has been the Nissan pregame rush. Kickoff coming up, but now we'll look inside Nissan's Heisman House.
You can't be faint of heart in this one now.
There you go.
We're off to Chestnut Hill this week.
It's going to be cold up there. It's going to be cold.
A.J. Dillon is one of the more physical backs in the country.
We've been waiting for this moment.
Right now, we kind of control our own destiny.
Dillon, end zone. Oh, mercy.
Lasers next. 30 seconds, everybody. We don't run from our opponents.
Clemson wasn't just a good team last year or the year before. It's a very strong program.
Trevor Lawrence, they could not ignore his physical skill set.
Up the middle he goes. ETN explodes.
Lawrence, another deep strike and a touchdown.
They've been kicking ass, taking names.
You have to win the physical matchups.
Everyone has a great plan to win until they get hit in the face.
Yeah, there we go. I like that.
We love to hit.
5. Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
New England weather. Welcome back to this presentation of the ACC on ESPN. Clemson has been on a demolition mission. They have been destroying ACC foes 240 to 36 since the scare at home against Syracuse. BC trying to summon all this energy and pull a big upset tonight. Maria Taylor on the field with Dabo Sweeney. Maria?
Thanks, Chris. All right, Coach, you're a win away from clinching the division. How did you describe the importance of this game to your team before taking the field?
Biggest game of the year. You know, it's the one we're playing. And if we can take care of business, they'll hand you a trophy. So just trying to be great in the moment.
We know that BC likes to play physical and with a chip on their shoulder. What's the biggest challenge facing your team tonight?
Just be who we are. You know, it's not about BC, it's about Clemson. Just be who we are. Play Clemson football, we'll be fine.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Winners of 52 of the last 55 games. Dabo Sweeney. Steve Adazio, tough guy, New England roots. You heard this speech. That didn't get you ready. If you're an Eagle, nothing will, huh?
That'll get you ready to cover a kickoff.
BC won the toss and deferred. They will kick it off. This is Danny Longman to boot it away. It'll be an interesting evening for the special teams. Swirling wind, temperatures high 30s and dropping. Darian Kendrick. And the young guy weaves his way through the coverage team. Very elusive and knocked out just short of the 30-yard line. We talked about the Tigers steamroll. They ran over Wake Forest 63-3. NC State came in unbeaten and got flattened. Florida State, they beat them by 7 touchdowns in Tallahassee. And then Louisville. Everyone's running over Louisville, but it was ridiculous. 77 points, could have been even worse. So here comes Trevor Lawrence. Again, never quarterbacked in the cold before, never started a night game before, but he is wise beyond his years with freaky arm talent. Travis Etienne, Louisiana native, motions into the left of the quarterback, and the Eagles crowd the line. It's a rare keeper for the big 6'6 quarterback, and a nice first down gain. Offensive line, Hyatt, more snaps than any player in Clemson history over there at left tackle.
Yeah, Hyatt is the leader, or Hyatt is the leader up front, and it's a veteran group, some guys that have played a lot of football. T. Higgins gives him a matchup. Hunter Renfrow, guys played a lot of ball. Love to see 3 Amari Rogers get some one-on-one opportunities as well, and of course to back Travis Etienne, one of the best in the country.
Lawrence got 4 yards on the keeper, and now Etienne, his first carry running right. He's strong and slippery, and he's got a first down at the 40. Allen, Carafa, Smith, and Ray all came in together. It's an outstanding front. Strahan's leading tackler.
Strahan and Richardson give them experience and guys that can fly around. Torres does a nice job jumping routes. Cheever's 5 interceptions. These corners have their hands full against these Clemson tall receivers.
And Lawrence from the pocket, pump fake. Now takes a downfield shot. Has a man open. Catch made by Amari Rogers, and he has run out deep in Boston College territory by Will Harris, but they bought the pump fake, Kirk.
Yeah, a couple run plays. Safety starting to cheat up. See how Harris starts to cheat up. Talked about that in the open. The safeties have a big responsibility tonight because they want to come up and help out against the run, but they got to be careful leaving the corners on an island, and they get him on a double move. 41 yards in that pickup. Etienne, over 1,000 yards on the last carry for the season, down inside the 15. I mean, this is the opening drive of the game. I love how Dabo Swinney told Maria, we're worried about Clemson. We're not worried about BC. We're going to play our game and our ball. And here's 4 plays into the game. They've already moved 57 yards, and they're already into the red zone by just doing their style of offense and running their game. Second and 6. Etienne, not much there. Talked about the veteran front of this Boston College defense. Of course, most teams say it, but stopping the run, priority 1 tonight. Stopping number 9. Yes, the defensive line gives him a chance because they've got some players that are difference makers up there. 2, Zach Allen gets most of the attention, but you're looking at Wyatt Ray, who's also a guy who's been around and played a lot of ball. Ray Smith, 96. They've got to hold their own, not only eat up blocks for the linebackers, but they've got to try to get off of blocks and get penetration. Well, they've got Clemson to third down. They need 4. Eagles showing pressure. They back out of it, and Lawrence from the pocket looked a little confused there, Kirk, by the late wrinkle by Boston College. It's 4th down. Yeah, good catch, Chris. They ended up going to try to disguise. Remember, as good as Trevor Lawrence is, he is still a freshman. Late movement, they bring a corner blitz there that surprised him with Cheevers. The movement there by Harris also 8. And at the last second, I don't think he even felt the blitz from the corner, Cheevers, until it was too late. Good job of disguising and waiting by Jim Reed, the defensive coordinator from Boston College. That's a win for the BC defense, isn't it? A field goal attempt from Greg Hugel. 5 of 6 inside 40 yards. This from 29, and he drives it right through. So Clemson takes it 59 yards in less than 3 minutes, but has to settle for 3. First BC possession coming up.
Hello, I'm Chief Warrant Officer 3, Jay Rosado, here from Taji, Iraq. I want to wish Clemson Tigers best of luck against Boston College. Go Tigers, beat BC.
We salute their service on Veterans Week, and there'll be folks representing BC and Clemson we'll hear from throughout the evening. Tigers a field goal in their opening possession, and now BC punter to boot it away. Ben Kleins and Michael Walker are back deep. And this is Walker who will leave it there. Boston College has the second most experienced offensive line after Wisconsin. Nasty personality, serious challenge for those guys tonight. Yeah, and the right guard, 75 Lindstrom, has to set the tone against a really talented Clemson defensive line. Jeff Smith can do a lot of things, very, very fast. A.J. Dillon sets the tone. We talked about him in the open, and you will see up to 6 different tight ends, but 89, Swinney, is the leader of the bunch. Anthony Brown's a sophomore from New Jersey. He's a capable runner. Got a nice strong arm. Can he settle in? Can he be calm and execute tonight against this very good defense? Can he feed Dillon enough? 250-pounder from New London, Connecticut, bangs for a short first down gain. Clemson's heard for a week how physical Boston College is and how physical A.J. Dillon is. You're going to see a lot of up-tempo approach from BC tonight. And this is Dillon, and he's got a little hole and uses his power and muscles near the marker. It's interesting, a high-tempo offense with big bodies on the field. Yeah, I mean, we live in a high-tempo offensive era, but it's typically, as you say, it's a lot of spread, 4 wide receivers, quarterbacks looking over to the sideline, getting assigned to get the play in. But here you're going to see a lot of times, at the very least, 2 tight ends. With the, we call it 12 personnel with 1 back and 2 tight ends. But there's versatility. You can see there, Swinney flexed out on the right-hand side, another tight end up on the left. This is Travis Levy. He's a back out of the backfield. He's got a catch, and he's got a first down out near the 40. He's an excellent complement to the physical Dillon. Yeah, and a big part of their tempo is not just to try to tire Clemson out, but by giving them so many different formations that are unique to this offense, it makes it tough to communicate for the Clemson defense. You see them late to adjust here. The receiver, Jeff Smith in the backfield, and he's got it, Kobe White. They'll use receivers all over the place. They love trickery
I don't think it's going to be too long before Leffler tries something tonight.
Yeah, of course he will. He's got some receivers. A lot of them played high school quarterback. They can throw the football around. We've seen that already this season, especially with Jeff Smith.
So Smith in motion. It's play action, and they flip it short to one of those many tight ends. They have a bunch of dudes who are 6'3", 250. They're out of a factory. Garab Idrisi makes that catch.
You're right. They're kind of interchangeable as far as their height and their weight. And my point about the size of these tight ends and the tempo, look at the Clemson players. You'll see a lot of them looking over to Brent Venables, trying to get the call. And that's why BC is trying to go fast with a variety of formations, trying to get them to miscommunicate. It's working.
Third down has been a mighty struggle for this Boston College offense as a timeout call before the snap. But BC, even the games they've won, Kirk, it's been tough on third down. They know against this defense, they're not going to make a living converting these third and longs.
Now, this communication is a big factor right now for Clemson and Brent Venables. This is what I was talking about. You can see the guys looking around. There are a lot of linebackers looking over. They're trying to get the call. But what you have is 10 players on the field. The reason Farrell is out there trying to get the timeout and eventually comes from the sideline from Davos, he recognized Dexter Lawrence had gone off the field. So just in the early part, Brent Venables just trying to settle everybody down. It's one thing to rep it during the week. You get out here, BC's going fast, and they're giving you a variety of formations. Guys' heads are spinning right now, and they just need to maybe simplify and just kind of slow things down for these players because they're having a tough time adjusting to that tempo.
You know how much he loves to make the last adjustment. That may be difficult tonight, huh?
Yeah, that's his style. He loves to wait to see what you're finally in, and then get that last second call in. And that's a big part of the reason BC is trying to counter that with their approach tonight.
Travis Levy is the back on third and about 9.5. Two tight ends. Flex to the left. Brown. Pressure. Wilkins after him. And the Massachusetts native, who's got 80 tickets tonight for friends and family. It's got to be a record number. Instant impact.
He is a handful. He'll start on the inside and work his way around. He and Bryant kind of do a little bit of an X stunt, a twist. And he is a handful because of his leverage and quickness, ability to get around the right tackle and get into the face of Anthony Brown.
And he is a big dude. He's 315, and he landed right on Anthony Brown, who's down on one knee on the field. Hope it's just the wind getting knocked out of him. But Wilkins, so inspired. He didn't get a chance to come north and play in front of home folk too often.
That's right. And I don't know if it's the wind. It looked like he may have come down on that right shoulder.
He is a year removed from an ACL injury, and Adazio, obvious concern. We'll send it back to Matt Berry in the studio for an update as we await the exam on Brown here.
Okay, Chris, time for a Dr. Pepper Championship Drive update. Georgia in one between the hedges tonight against Auburn until Jake Fromm finds Tyler Simmons for the touchdown. Dogs back on top, 13-10, 2 minutes before the half. Chris Kirk, back to you.
Now we see E.J. Perry, who's a sophomore from here in Massachusetts, taking snaps, the backup quarterback. And Kirk Brown has not moved as the athletic trainers and doctors surround him. Another look at the impact as Wilkins came down on top of him.
Yeah, he kind of twists his body, but all of that weight and momentum coming down on Anthony Brown.
Is that hit late, you think, or clean?
No, I think it looked clean to me. But incredibly violent.
So update you on that story as Grant Carlson is set to punt it away. Amari Rogers, who made the catch in the Tigers' opening possession in punt return formation, he'll come up and let this bounce in front of him. Now he fields it as the coverage team closes in and drops him for a loss. So a risky maneuver by Rogers, who's muffed a few punt returns this year. And Harris, the captain, the starting safety, flew down on special teams. Concern for Brown as Trevor Lawrence goes back to work. Clemson up 3.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Walmart. Light up Christmas at Walmart. In part by Nissan, innovation that excites. And the unexpected energy of ExxonMobil. Energy lives here.
See a look at some of the BC greats over the years, and the BC quarterback, Anthony Brown, walking off. Tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of his ACL injury that set him back throughout the winter and the spring. Wasn't cleared to play medically until summer camp. This appears to be an upper body injury as they walk him off. Good punt coverage sets Clemson back at the 13-yard line for the Tigers' second possession. They get 56 yards to a field goal the first time. Lawrence has a clean pocket and delivers far side, and this is Hunter Renfrow, a veteran senior. He's got more career starts at wide receiver than any Tiger in history.
Good job of finding that soft coverage, and you can see whether it's man or zone, Hunter Renfrow knows how to find, especially in zone, that soft spot. Good rhythm there with Lawrence finding it was one of his favorite targets.
38 consecutive games that he's played, and he's made a catch. That's a share of the school record. And a first down carry by Etienne, slammed down after 3 yards. Our Chick-fil-A impact players, Kirk.
Yep, start with the Clemson offense. Travis Etienne, try to establish him. We talked about if you get him established, look out, because T. Higgins and company can make big plays. Zach Allen, number 2's got to have a big night against the run and provide the pass rush. And Hamp Cheevers going to be out on an island tonight against T. Higgins. He's got to hold up in that man coverage.
Yeah, big, tall receivers against short corners. Everybody tries to pick on BC. This is Renfrow out of the slot. He is well defended and slung down immediately by Max Richardson, the hard-hitting linebacker.
Yeah, really good job of this defense pursuing. Jim Reed told us this week how important it was to get this defense off to a fast start. They look completely locked in right now, reading their keys and running to the football. Nice job there by the linebacker Richardson.
If you're a defense and you've seen your starting quarterback walk off with an injury, perhaps extra urgency and inspiration.
They're known, Chris, for pressure on third down. Let's see if they just rely on the front four to get home or if they bring some pressure.
Well, they got off the mark quickly, so it's a free play for Lawrence, who loses the football. Clemson retains possession, but they got a quick start.
Yeah, Zach Allen, the leader, number 2, got off a little bit early. I think he was excited to try to get to the corner.
Defense, number 2, 5-yard penalty, replay third down.
So the fumble doesn't count, but you can see they got after Lawrence.
Well, third down, you're going to do everything you can to try to turn loose your outside pressure, your edge pressure. Ray, 11 on the other side, and Allen, and I'll tell you, if he would have waited just a beat, he would have had a chance to get off that edge and still, I think, get around and get the pressure on Lawrence. What a bonus that would be, by the way, to get to Lawrence without having to blitz with those defensive ends.
Allen, a guy who came back this year for his senior year, but a certain first-round prospect. 3rd and 2 now after the penalty. Etienne motions out, and Lawrence pressured again, and he'll be sacked. Will Harris came on the blitz.
Well, they took a chance here on third down. They brought Harris late. Lawrence doesn't see him. It's the second time they've done a good job of bringing blitzes. You can see in the background official waving the play off. We have a flag on the field. But a second time they've waited to the last second, disguising the blitz and trying to get pressure on Lawrence.
So the sack doesn't count. They move it back 5 yards to be another third down, back to the original spot. Lawrence has been brilliant, but we mentioned there's still some firsts.
Yeah, right now they're waiting to that last possible second to bring pressure, and he's not seeing it right now.
They're jumping around on their side of the line again. On 3rd and 7, Lawrence pressured again, flushed. A flag comes in as he scoots out of bounds short of the marker. Zach Allen got there in a hurry again, Kirk. It's in the holding zone.
It is. He got held that time because he got around so quickly. But Lawrence is short for the first down, so you think they declined this.
Yeah, they'll decline it.
He's on the play, 4th down.
You're seeing the senior from New Canaan, Connecticut making a big impact.
And he comes off the edge again. Remember, he was 2 plays ago. This time he waits patiently. I think that's a matchup concern for Clemson. Keep in mind, Zach Allen is 285 pounds.
He's a guy that says he emulates J.J. Watt, watches all the cut-ups of J.J. on Sundays, and he's got a future making money playing football too.
Oh, yeah. Just a relentless pass rusher.
He's like a baby-faced guy off the field, but he just becomes an assassin when he gets out there. Spires hesitated and kicks a rugby punt that takes a bounce. It's fielded dangerously. And Walker has a wall down the sidelines, galloping free. Michael Walker all the way home. Huge risk, Kirk, and a massive reward. I thought it was gutsy to even field it.
I know. I think the ball snuck up on him. I thought it might have even hit a Clemson player that was downfield covering. But because the ball, the way it skipped in a very unusual way. I thought it may have hit 18. Right there it did. In fact, did hit him. And that's what surprised me, that he was able to secure the ball. He had no interest until all of a sudden, boom, the ball bounces off of him and into the hands of Walker.
That is his first career touchdown as a returner. And he's returned a couple hundred punts and kickoffs waiting for that moment. And a special teams play as electrified Boston College. Michael Walker puts the Eagles on top 7-3.
Matt Berry with your DirecTV. More for your college football thing. After a Florida State touchdown, the Irish block the extra point. Julian Love recovers it, returns it for 2 points for the Irish. Dexter Williams has just added a touchdown. It's 25-6 Notre Dame in the second. Chris and Kirk, back to you.
All right, Matt, thank you. So Michael Walker, the senior who has seen his role as a receiver kind of shrink in recent years, makes a huge impact as a returner. And Clemson trails for the first time since the waning seconds of the comeback victory against Syracuse. Kendrick fields it at the 10. And Kendrick has a crease, and now he's going to be penned in and slung down at the 30. Tremendous reflexes, because as you point out, the ball touched a Tiger on the way to him.
Yeah, it touches him. It sneaks up on Walker, but look at the wall. I mean, that's a convoy down that right sideline. The ball is live. BC can pick it up and run with the football after it touched the Clemson player who was covering the punt. Looked like it was actually TJ Chase, a wide receiver, who was downfield. It ended up, that ball kind of bounced off looked like the backside of maybe the backside of his leg.
So a team that has been crushing people the last 4 games finds itself down 4. Certainly won't be any panic from this veteran Tigers team. Tavian Feaster is the back. And Lawrence pitches it on first down. It's T. Higgins coming out of the slot. And the ball has some zip on it on a 16's hand, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't think the wind or the cold's affecting his ability to throw the ball. What is affecting him is Jim Reed, the defense coordinator from Boston College, and the job he has done so far with disguising their coverage. Remember, as good as Trevor Lawrence is, he is still a young quarterback seeing defenses and things for the first time.
And the end around, Rodgers, he's got a first down. Lawrence starting 4 for 5.
And remember, when they were on the road at Texas A&M early in the year, they had Kelly Bryant. They had a veteran who'd kind of been in these kind of atmospheres, and this is probably the first time that, at least early in this game, they've been tested since that game, and it's Trevor Lawrence's show now.
And Lawrence gets it out wide to Renfro, who's going to be slammed down after a short gain. That's a good point. At A&M, it was Kelly Bryant that engineered the comeback. And then, of course, after Lawrence got knocked out against Syracuse, it was Chase Bryce who was the hero.
Exactly. I love this physicality. Watch Torres, 24. He pushes Ross, the freshman receiver, back. And by doing that, it allows the defense to rally to the football. And again, the way he did that sends a message.
Pressure and a downfield shot. Higgins goes up and grabs it. He's still going. Finally dragged down by the freshman corner, Brandon Sebastian, but uses all that 6'4" height.
Yeah, this is what BC's worried about, is the height. How about the adjustment back to the ball by T. Higgins? Ball is underthrown slightly, but uses his length. He's 6'4" with the long arms. It's exactly the reason he's able to go up and over Sebastian. Great adjustment back.
Sophomore who has emerged as Clemson's top target for Lawrence this year. 33 yards on that one. And Rogers avoids a tackle and tries a stutter step, makes a man miss. First and goal. Play was almost blown up there by Strahan.
It's a run-pass option. You're going to see a blitz, which gives him an indicator to get the ball thrown to the outside. The only thing is, Cheevers knows he's going to throw and jumps the route. By jumping the route, he ends up not making a play on the ball, and that's why Rogers is able to pick up so many yards. BC kind of baited him into that throw.
They check the sidelines to make adjustments. Plenty of time on the play clock. So 2 possessions. Twice Clemson has threatened. Can they find the end zone this time? Keeper. Lawrence. He's a good runner, but not quite sudden enough to outrun the safety Dennis that time.
I'll tell you, this Boston College defense, they may be limited in some certain spots athletically, but they are incredibly well prepared. That time they gave a read to Trevor Lawrence on the zone read to pull it out and keep the ball, and then they had 2 defensive backs coming up knowing he would pull it and to be there to force him out of bounds. Certainly faster than they have been. They've gone south. They have 5 starters in this defense are from the south. 7 seniors too.
Second and goal. Lawrence, pressure off the edge, flips it to Etienne in the flat, slips a tackle and bang down at the 4-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
Brought that same blitz, and again, Lawrence not seeing it. He was very fortunate to, the last moment, get the ball dumped down to Will Harris. Will Harris came. He was able to dump it down before Will Harris got to him.
He's seeing the hole.
Oh, yeah. They're unloading. They are unloading. Forget about bend but don't break. BC is coming after the young quarterback.
Jim Reed, 68 years old. He knows a lot about blitzes. 3rd and goal. Etienne patiently picks his way, but he's not going to get there. Knocked down at the 2, and now Dabble has a decision.
Boston College defensive line doing a really good job at the line of scrimmage.
Here come the big guys.
Big fellas are coming in.
Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence each have scored touchdowns on short runs this year.
And short runs. You wonder, because it's getting so much attention, if they go with a little bit of a wrinkle here and use them and maybe in a play action type of way. It's gotten a lot of attention with these guys running the ball from behind.
Wilkins, a tailback, has excellent hands. You're right. It is play action, and now they throw it over the middle. Easy pitch and catch. Mylan Richards, a 4th down touchdown, and the Tigers reclaim the lead.
It just has gotten so much attention that look at BC attacking it, anticipating that they're going to run with the big fellas. Great job of being ahead of that by thinking ahead by the offensive staff. Tony Elliott, Jeff Scott, the co-offensive coordinators. Perfect time to call that play with BC thinking that the big fellas are going to just run and try to power their way into the end zone.
And a 6'6" quarterback who just got the ball up and over the middle linebacker's hands. Strahan was close, but Richard, with his first touchdown reception this season, puts the Tigers back on top by a field goal late first quarter. Taco Bell continues to celebrate student sections and passionate fans like these Eagles by awarding the best student section of the year. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see if your team made the rankings this week and see how your school can compete. After the punt return, put the Eagles in front. Clemson goes 70 yards in 9 plays. Trevor Lawrence 7 of 7 for 69 yards and the touchdown on 4th down to Richard. So now we're going to see the backup quarterback for Boston College, Anthony Brown, Maria Taylor reporting still in the locker room being examined. And E.J. Perry is going to come in the game. Walker back as the kick returner. And he's in the clear again. There's a flag down as Walker is bumped out near midfield. The flag back inside the 20. But Walker providing a second electric moment. This apparently is not going to count.
I think we've got a block in the back, but Dabo Sweeney still fired up.
Illegal block in the back on the return team, number 9. 10-yard penalty, first down.
It's Kobe White, the receiver, who spoiled his fellow receiver's big return.
Yeah, right there, tries to put his hands up to try to say I didn't touch him, but officials on top of it. Gets Simmons, who was coming down really fast.
It's not much, but a little bump when a guy's moving forward to push him past the returner is plenty to get a penalty.
So Anthony Brown goes out. You mentioned now we're going to get a look at E.J. Perry. Different kind of skill set, a little bit more of a runner, but you can see 15 of 18 for 179 yards when he has had an opportunity to get out on the field.
Yeah, which hasn't been in a couple of months. He came in mop-up duty in that big loss to Purdue. He's a pretty good runner. This is a big ask, and they hope Dillon can carry the load for a while.
And now Clemson's defense and Brent Venables, remember, they've had a hard time with that up-tempo, trying to get lined up, trying to get the right call in. Now they go into pin the ears back mode and go after A.J. Dillon, try to get this inexperienced quarterback to a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10 type of situation. They're really going to go after Dillon now.
And he's got the football, and he's got some blocks on the edge, and Dillon knocked down. Nice open field tackle by Kayvon Wallace, just short of the marker.
Montero, the left tackle, picked up a really nice block, allowed him to get out on the perimeter. Gives him a chance here on 3rd down and short.
Still playing tempo, Kirk, with the backup quarterback, and Dillon's got it, and he's going to be dragged down. Nothing doing there. Stopped short of the first down. Big old Dexter Lawrence.
How about Dexter Lawrence? I mean, you talk to Mel Kiper and other people when it comes to evaluating players that could be eligible for the draft. 90 there makes a great play. He's able to split two offensive linemen. Get into the backfield to keep them short of the first down.
You know how many missed tackles Lawrence has this year? They have him for 0 missed tackles.
Big strong hands.
Indeed. End of the first quarter. 10-7 Clemson. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station.
The massive 82-inch Samsung QLED TV. You can't look away.
Start of the second quarter here in Chestnut Hill. I think Dexter Lawrence blows up the 3rd and 1 play. Tackles Dillon. And now, Kirk, all the front 4 for Clemson. The starters out there on this punt team. Carlson gets it away. Rogers makes a fair catch. And the Tigers will begin from the 37. Kickoff week 10 with Sunday NFL Countdown over on ESPN, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. One-on-one with Aaron Donald, NFL's best defensive player, sharing his secrets, sacking a quarterback, former Pitt Panther, plus 9 months after the Super Bowl. The stories of a magical night in Philly that has filled the city's maternity wards with babies named Nick, Carson, and even Lily. Play on Philly, I guess.
How about Aaron Donald's alma mater, the Pitt Panthers, starting to play with some confidence? More than likely could end up being the opponent if Clemson ends up clinching, playing the ACC championship.
There's another keeper for Lawrence. They've done more of that tonight than they typically do, and a hard tackle by Isaiah McDuffie.
And he has that skill set. He can do that in 6'6", 215. Go back to the years when Taj Boyd was a quarterback, and of course Deshaun Watson. Run just enough to make the defense aware of it so they don't just lock in on the running back on that look.
2nd and 8. Lawrence play action, flips it into the bench. There was nobody there. Higgins was well covered that time, and Allen was in his face again.
Yeah, the combination of really good coverage by Sebastian, number 10, against Higgins, along with the defensive line doing their job of getting in there and getting pressure. Hey, Zach Allen is having a heck of a first half tonight for BC. Let's see if he's able to make a play here on third down.
Tigers yet to convert on third, 0 for 3. He's in the starting blocks, isn't he?
Yeah.
Adjustments being made on both sides. Play clock at 5. Here comes the pressure. Lawrence gets it away. Loops it downfield. What a beautiful throw. And Kendrick crosses the field. Actually retreated. Tackle back at the 28. But boy, can the quarterback sling it a long way.
They brought blitz. They leave their corners on islands. And look at the job of the receiver this time getting behind the coverage. Kendrick just beats his man one-on-one. Able to get behind him. There's not going to be that safety help. So you're out there on that island. You cannot afford to miss the way Cheevers did that time. Great route, great job of connecting there with Kendrick.
Ran backwards after the catch, but still got 32 yards. Tigers threatening again. And Etienne breaks a tackle on the edge, and Etienne sprinting down, knocked out just shy of the 10-yard line.
They make the corner make the play here, Cheevers. You see the receiver come in and block the safety up here. By blocking the safety, it allows Etienne to make the corner. There's the block on the safety. Now make that corner. Cheevers have to make that one-on-one play. That's a tough thing to do for an undersized corner. Etienne gets the best of him, gets down the field, and picks up more yards.
Adam Choice spells him in this first down play. Choice almost to the right side, knocked down by Strahan after 2 yards.
This offense is so challenging to defend because they're balanced, but they're also incredibly explosive, running and throwing. So when you're trying to get an extra hat as a safety down to help against Etienne, you're going to leave yourself one-on-one with a quarterback with a big arm and really talented receivers. So you're playing a little bit of a cat-and-mouse game with Trevor Lawrence and with his Clemson offense, trying to trick them with your looks and disguising your looks.
Etienne back in the game. He's got a couple of hard-earned yards. Strahan, the top tackler in this defense, was there again.
Yeah, he just filled that hole nicely. Guys played a lot of football. Get this Clemson offense again to third down. Clemson just 1 of 4 here early in this game. If T. Higgins is left alone, he's always an option for them down in this area. The big wide receiver at 6'4".
Going against Ham Cheevers, who's about a 5'9" corner on the left side of the formation. And now Dabo sprinting down the field, showing some excellent wheels at almost 49 years old to get the timeout. He might have broken his own record for the 40 there, Kirk.
Yeah, well, he sprints onto the field before every game. This is a pretty good effort. He must have been warmed up from that sprint. He decides to get that timeout in. And
starts slowly and then boom.
Go. That's 4.7-ish. Give him a 4.7 there.
Big third down play. The Eagles starting quarterback Anthony Brown knocked out. They got 23 yards total offense. So Clemson now trying to stretch the lead, get it to double digits. Need to get to the 2 for a fresh set of downs. Etienne is the back. From the pocket, Lawrence surveys and just slings it out of the end zone. Nobody open. Good coverage, pressure again, and it's fourth down.
Yeah, that time they did not blitz, didn't come with a late pressure, just rushed 4. Sat back and played zone. Everybody covered. Lawrence had nothing to do but just to throw the football away there.
BC defense, Kirk, just scrapping and clawing. They're giving up a lot of yards, but finding a way to force field goal attempts. Hugel made a chip shot earlier. This is basically a glorified extra point for a 6-point lead. Knocks it straight through. So a 56-yard drive, and Clemson pads the lead. Leads 13-7.
Saturday Night Football, presented by Walmart on ABC, is brought to you by Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific. And Goodyear. hard-working tires that deliver blimp-worthy performance.
Tigers and Eagles represented around the world. We salute all of their service on Veterans Day weekend. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. When you put in the hours, the reps, and the heart, nothing can keep you from being blimp-worthy. Goodyear, more driven. There's really a howling wind a couple of hours ago throughout the day. Rain this morning, but wind has really calmed down. Made it easier on the quarterbacks, and Trevor Lawrence 11 for 14. Tigers 4 possessions and 3 long drives, but still just a 6-point lead. Another returnable kick for Walker has produced the only points for BC so far with a punt return, and he'll be knocked down short of the 25.
This Clemson defense has really played well here. Christian Wilkins, the defensive line, gets talked about a lot. Coming back home to the Northeast, has played well in every phase, whether it's rushing the quarterback here. He ends up knocking Anthony Brown down with a violent hit after the throw. And there's the play Dexter Lawrence made where he splits 2 Boston College offensive linemen and still makes a play on 3rd and short. He is fired up. He's got a lot of people here watching him. But BC's in this game 13-7. They have 23 yards of offense.
Only run 9 plays. 5 of them have been rushes by Dillon. There's an end around, and a big gain spoiled is stumbling. As he tried to turn the corner was the quarterback Perry, who's known as a quick runner. Yeah,
he had a chance there to pick up some big yards. He just lost his balance, lost his footing. That would have easily been a first down.
The backup knows he's just 1 play away. You put in the reps, but you don't really feel prepared for this, do you, Kirk, as a quarterback against this defense? And now a reverse. And it's Jeff Smith, the former quarterback here. He can throw very well, but he has to just throw it away. Yeah, and now a flag comes in at the end of the play.
Because I don't think he threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. It's going to be intentional grounding. He got outside of the pocket, obviously, but the ball didn't go beyond the line of scrimmage.
Different rules apply. When it's not the original quarterback, when a receiver throws a pass, he didn't get the protection the quarterback does in intentional grounding. And
intentional grounding, offense, number 22. By rule, he cannot legally ground the pass as he was not the player that controlled the snap. The foul is the loss of down. At the spot of the foul, be 3rd down.
I appreciate Dave Kataya. Trey backing me up on that one. It wouldn't have been grounding if he was a quarterback, right?
Exactly, because I think it doesn't matter where it crosses the line, in or out of bounds, as long as it crosses the line. But since he wasn't the original person that possessed the ball, player can't do it.
Yeah, and that's the kind of trick play that we expected from Scott Loeffler. Smith is 3 for 3 as a passer coming in. That's his first incompletion, and he can sling it well. But the Tigers were ready for that one. Now it's 3rd and 12. And Perry trying to scramble. You can see he's pretty elusive, and he gets slammed down very hard at the end of the play by Xavier Thomas, the freaky freshman.
Yeah, much more natural runner when he gets a chance to take off and go. But Clemson once again will force a punt. Mention how BC had 9 plays up to 12 plays, 29 yards. Clemson's offense and Trevor Lawrence, we talk so much about it, but Brent Venables and the job he continues to do with his Tigers defense year in and year out. Dominant.
Carlson gets the punt away, and this is Rogers who'll let it bounce, and yeah, just let it go. It's going to be down to the 26. And Clemson back to work, up by 6, early 2nd quarter. Week 10 of Monday Night Football. Odell Beckham, Saquon Barkley, and the Giants in San Francisco. 2 teams in desperate need of a win. 8:15 on ESPN. You get Tess, Booger, Lisa, Jason Tessitore, whose son John is redshirting as a kicker. Definitely looking in tonight in the West Coast as he does his prep. Wondering how BC is going to generate offense with Anthony Brown knocked out of the game. Travis Etienne tests the left side. Short gain. You come in wanting to work on tempo, wanting to throw caution to the wind, and then Anthony Brown slammed to the ground by Wilkins. And Perry's going to do the best he can, but it feels like first down is going to be hard to come by for Boston College.
Yeah, it does feel that way. And I tell you, when you lose a quarterback like that, it puts a lot of pressure on your defense. And the defense up to this point, yeah, you're giving up some yards, but they've really done a good job of locking things down in the red zone.
5 receiver look. They throw it to Renfro. It's a tough job for a linebacker to cover him. Strahan's a good player, but that's a mismatch there.
Yeah, in space. It's kind of an option route that they give him, and just it's almost like just playing down in some one-on-one basketball. You just get down, you try to make a move wherever the defender goes. You're going to just try to set him up and go the other way, and gives him a chance here on 3rd and short.
In a phone booth, you'd like the linebacker's chance, but he's
not
45 pounds against
too much space.
3rd and 2. ETN lined up 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And he's got the ball, but not the first down. Eagles were stout in there. It's a strong play by Tanner Carafa.
This defensive line is playing great. Here he is, right here on the outside. It's like it's Zach Allen involved in there as well, but Carafa with this defense across the board. Veteran guys that have played a lot of football. They pinched down anticipating an inside run. They blitzed from the safety spot with Will Harris. And Jim Reed continuing to just kind of hang in there with this BC defense.
They're doing a great job on 3rd down. If they can get Clemson to 3rd down, Tigers 1 for 6.
Yeah.
They were an excellent 3rd down offense coming in. Not a good-looking kick by Spires, going off the side of his foot. And Walker races up to make a fair catch at the 30. We'll see if the Eagles, with backup E.J. Perry at the helm, can get something going, down by 6. You can get ESPN Plus to stream college football all season long. Start your free trial today by downloading the ESPN app or visiting ESPNplus.com. So Ernest Joseph Perry IV, you call him EJ, BC's backup quarterback, back to work with Anthony Brown, knocked out for the game. BC tells us he will not return. It's Dillon, runs right into traffic, steps sideways and manages to get 2 yards.
Yeah, this offense is struggling not just because Anthony Brown is out. Remember what they wanted to do. They wanted to be able to run the football. Steve Addazio knew that it would be hard to just run the ball against this talented defense. They had to hit some shots in the play-action pass game. What also is affecting them is 1st and 10, averaging 2 yards only on 1st and 10. Gets him behind the sticks.
And Dillon running east and west. He shows the quickness. He's a big man, but you saw the burst there as he got wide in a fast defense. Knocked out a couple yards short.
Well, he obviously he has great power. You're talking about a tailback at 250 pounds. But what surprises you when you watch him is how nimble he can be and how quick he is with his feet. The other thing is the patience that he has. He's going up against one of the fastest defenses, not just in the ACC, but in the country. He kind of waited for that to develop, patiently waited, and got some yards.
Look at all the Tigers crowding the box, expecting a handoff to Dillon. Instead, it's Perry who turns the corner. He's fighting for everything this back. If he stretched the ball across the 40, enough to get the first down.
Yeah, good for him. That effort right there is what you want to see. And they told us when they get these first downs, they want to try to really get the tempo going. Watch this. It looks like he's not going to make it. That effort right there is able to allow him to pick up the first down. He had a couple defenders grabbing onto him. J.D. Davis, the linebacker, had him wrapped up, maybe short of the first down, but the effort gets him it.
And now play action. Perry under pressure, delivers across the middle. And the catch is made by Kobe White in Tigers territory.
Hey, 1st and 10 play action, good call, and Farrell unloads on him. Watch 99. How about that? Your backup quarterback, haven't played a lot of meaningful snaps, and boom, you get drilled as you throw that ball by one of the best pass rushers in the country, and he throws a dime right on the money.
White has the best hands in the team on a cold night, and now the snap is airmailed, and Perry has to chase it down. Still loose, and he'll finally collect it, but way back at the 26-yard line. They lose about 35 on that play.
And the ball was high, but catchable. I mean, it came back. I mean, that's a snap that he's got to be able to take in, and then he was such a hurry to get back there that he almost ends up losing the ball. At this point, they just want to be smart here on 2nd and 3rd down.
And officially a 32-yard loss. Just when it seemed like Perry had sparked the offense, wasn't expecting that snap. And now he's going to be knocked down. They're having difficulty doing the simplest thing in football right now.
Yeah, that one again. Levy was going in motion. Watch him, the ball almost hits him. They caught a break there. That Perry actually wasn't looking into the secondary, and the ball would have gone by him a second time.
What do you have, Coach, on 3rd and 47?
I think you cut your losses and you just run the ball here. Or
there's a low snap. Pressure again. It's a screen. And Levy was going to be surrounded and hammered as the Eagles continue to move backwards. It got all the way to the Clemson 42 at the beginning of the series, which will end inside their own 20.
Yeah, and that was right after the 1st and 10 play action. Great throw, a 32-yard loss, and see how quick they get in there on that screen. That play obviously never really had a chance at all, just more of a safe call to avoid any more disaster. It's like Simmons, Isaiah Simmons, very talented nickelback, outside linebacker, 11, a little dinged up there for the Tigers.
Linebacker talked to him this week, just an incredibly freaky athlete. They want him to be a little bit more disciplined. He's not always lined up perfectly, but it's hard to criticize him when he's getting in and making plays all the time.
He's one of my favorite guys on their defense. Defensive line gets a lot of attention. You watch the play, you watch the film, and 11 flashes a lot for this defense. Took over for Dorian O'Daniel, who was a great player.
Simmons dreamed to be an Olympic medalist in the long jumper as a runner, and now Rodgers is bumped into. It's a muff. The Eagles have the football. He's claiming he was hit before the ball got there. There's no flag for kick-catch interference. Torres got down there and bumped into him.
I can't believe there's not a flag. They're talking about this. Torres.
Ruling on the field that the punt was muffed and recovered by the kicking team. Be first down for Boston College.
He signaled fair catch, and an Eagle ran right in front of him. Let's get Dave Katai in there to see if that was enough to constitute the penalty, which wasn't thrown, Dave.
Oh, wow.
Well, it is a foul. He contacted him. The only way out of that if he was blocked into him. Now watch the little push there. That's not a block enough. Right there's the contact. Fair catch signal's immaterial. You have to give him room to catch it. Should have been a foul.
And this is not reviewable.
No, it's not, and Dabo Swinney wants to vent anyway. Rodgers has difficulty fielding punts. He's muffed a few this year, but you can't put that one on him.
No, I'm shocked there wasn't a call. I mean, Torres hustled down, but he did get a little bit of a push, but that was not enough. It could be considered a block. And Torres was right in the way of Rodgers as he was trying to handle the punt.
He muffed one against Syracuse that set up an orange touchdown in that game. Was a big moment in the narrow escape for the Tigers.
The ruling on the field is that the punt was muffed and recovered by the kicking team. Replay is initiating a review of the play. Previous play is under review.
So Joe Ryder is going to look and see if he had control of the ball,
right?
Therefore, which would make it dead,
right? Not the foul, not what we thought could have been a penalty, but whether or not he had his foot in bounds when he had possession of the ball. There was a little bobble there after he picked up the football. There's a little bit of a bobble.
I think his right foot was planted though when he picked up the ball. Dave, what did you see on that replay?
What I'm seeing here is he's got possession. Okay, he's got control. To me, he has possession. I don't see anything that would change that part of the call on the field. That part's reviewable. What isn't reviewable is the foul,
which you think should have been thrown, clearly.
I think so. There was contact. That contact, in my opinion, was not severe enough or did not cause the contact with the receiver catching the ball.
The angle from behind him, you can't see
if the ball
is happening, but Joe Ryder is the replay official for this ACC crew checking it out. Dabo Swinney, though, is just hot. He feels that Rodgers was interfered with. What do you do with a 4th and 49? I guess you punt it away and hope they muff it.
Think about this now. They had the big return for a touchdown, and now maybe catch this break.
On the field stands.
Yeah. There wasn't anything based on the review there that could overturn that.
So now Boston College, which has struggled mightily to put together drives and got their only points on a punt return by Walker, is now set up at the Clemson 42, which is exactly where they were set up after the catch before the disastrous last sequence, right here.
Remember, he's getting his feet under him now. They had a little success with a play-action pass.
They feed Dillon. who tries to get wide and is going to be knocked down at the 40-yard line as a flag that came in. May have been a hold on that far side.
I think on the right side of the offensive line.
Holding. Offense, number 64. 10-yard penalty. First down.
You got the sophomore tackle, Ben Petrula. He's trying to help Dillon get the edge.
Yeah, 64 right there. Matched up with Austin Bryant. The reason he was able to get that edge, the hold there.
Bryant did a good acting job to make more of it.
He sold it well. And this is not an offense that's built to get behind the chains. You have success. You get to those 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, 3rd and short. Last thing they want to do, any offense, but especially this offense, is get behind like this.
Spot foul. It'll be a 7-yard penalty. And now C.J. Lewis, the lanky sophomore from Hamden, Connecticut, stopped for a short gain by Farrell.
Really got to give E.J. Perry some credit here. A guy that's not played a lot of football. This game's moving very fast for him and playing against a very good defense. Offensive coordinator Scott Loeffler trying to adjust the game plan that they had prepared all week for, trying to stay within it, but at the same time try to work through Perry's strengths.
And now Perry looking to throw a screen and has to chuck it away. Heavy pressure that time from Farrell. And a flag is down on the far side just at the time of the snap. Signaling false start to Clemson. Likely to decline this penalty. It'll make it 3rd and 15. Perry came in, made his debut at Fenway Park, no less. A win over UConn after Brown was knocked out last November.
Offense, 5 players in the backfield. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is 3rd down.
Twice BC getting to the Clemson 42 and then going backwards. They are a long way from the field goal range of Colton Lichtenberg. They don't try long field goals at Boston College. Here comes the 4-man rush. Perry steps up and delivers. No chance to make a play. Tried to get the ball to Walker, but he was well covered, and it's 4th down.
It's the beauty of having this defensive line. Put that kind of pressure on a quarterback on 3rd down. You can sit back, play zone, not have to live on those islands, and still make it feel like that quarterback feels a sense of urgency to get rid of the football.
Talk about a front four that has 62 combined career sacks, all of them NFL bound, but not soon enough for the rest of the ACC. Marked by Carlson, does a nice job, gets backspin and goes out of bounds at the 10-yard line. The Bear, with this week's Aflac fact. First, what do you have for us?
Dabo Swinney, incredible success, 110-30 in his 11th season as his Clemson head coach. Did you know his first win as Clemson head coach came back here in 2008 at Chestnut Hill against BC?
Indeed. That was a very young Dabo Swinney, not yet 40 years old, interim head coach. And he got the Gatorade bath after the Tigers won here 2 years ago.
He was actually telling us about that story on the field before the game and talked about how important C.J. Spiller was to that win. And he actually brought C.J. Spiller on this trip this year to kind of celebrate that anniversary.
First down, play action throw, and Lawrence gets it to Higgins. It's the game you're talking about. I mean, the world did not know who Dabo Swinney was in November of 2008. They do get the victory here. And there's Dabo, the first of many Gatorade baths. They got him with the orange stuff. He was very calm, very relaxed for a team that's got all this playoff pressure. As Lawrence rolls out and launches downfield. A deep throw for Kendrick. And it battled for and broken up very nicely by Sebastian. That was freshman versus freshman down there.
Yeah, what was really nice is the fact that Trevor Lawrence came off of the receivers underneath and worked all the way back to try to get the ball to Kendrick because the safety, Will Harris, came up tight. He had a one-on-one matchup, but give all the credit again to Sebastian. Living out there one-on-one, knows he's got to make a play, and actually he's the tallest corner that they have that plays man-to-man at 6'1", did a nice job of going up and knocking that ball away.
Tigers who've struggled, again, just 1 for 6 on 3rd down, need 2 yards here. Lawrence, shovel pass inside to Etienne, who spins for a first down across the 25.
Great adjustment by Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott. They've been getting a lot of blitzes, a lot of pressure from the outside. So this time they go underneath that. See, there's the pressure. Do a good job of almost baiting that pressure, anticipating maybe a quick throw, and go right underneath the pressure from the safety, Will Harris.
Counts as a pass, and so Lawrence 14 of 18, 179 yards in this first half. Looking to throw it again. Off the edge, Allen was pressuring him. Downfield shot is over the head of Justin Ross, the speedy freshman. Cheevers in coverage, but once again, that's all about Allen's pressure.
Yes. It's 285 pounds being able to win this matchup, and he's giving Ankrum all he can handle on that right side of the offensive line. And they were fortunate because look at that. You see the quickness of Justin Ross. He's a true freshman, and Cheevers trying to do everything he can to hold on to his hip or his jersey, anything. And if he had time, that was a chance for a big play for Clemson.
On 2nd and 10, Lawrence looks to throw on the far sideline. Sliding catch made by Higgins. Back shoulder throw and an acrobatic grab at the 40. First down.
You know, Jeff Scott, who works as a co-offensive coordinator and works with the wide receivers, says that this group is maybe the area that has improved the most from where they were last year. Just a mature group, very serious about their preparation, and obviously have tremendous skill. Throws a back shoulder, loses his footing, but still the focus to be able to make that catch. Well, you look at T. Higgins, Justin Ross, go all the way around this group. It's a talented group.
Mitch Hyatt, their best offensive lineman, left tackle, is out, so a true freshman, Jackson Carman, is in the ball game. And Lawrence, another downfield shot. Higgins over his fingertips. The play was there to be made. Dennis was trailing the receiver.
And he had time this time. He had all the time that he needed, and he just missed it. And those are the plays that Clemson's been hitting this year. You know, they have as many explosive plays of 20 yards or more coming into this game. They have 60. All of last year, they had 60 plays of 20 yards or more. So those are the plays that Lawrence has been hitting. That time, just overthrows a wide open T. Higgins.
Explosive running and throwing. Yep. Much more so than the championship team of 16 led by Deshaun Watson. Scoring quicker. Play clock running down. 2 seconds to snap it. Lawrence gets it out, delivers far side, and dragged down immediately is Ross. Good open field tackle by Dennis.
Well, this secondary on passing downs, they are running all over the place after the snap, doing everything that they can to try to give Trevor Lawrence and these receivers one look, and then after the snap, running almost in some cases all the way to the other side of the field, trying to hope to catch him napping and see if he can throw one into coverage.
Choice is the back on 3rd and 6. Eagles are showing pressure off the edge, and they bring it. Lawrence stands, delivers a strike across the middle to Ross. What a throw and catch. First down at the Eagles' 40.
Here's an example of where they're moving, and this time it backfires on him. Watch him clear out after the snap, and when they end up moving like this, you end up seeing that crease, and he feels that, and he slides it right in there. So that time, Dennis moves out, again, by disguising, and opens up that skinny post.
Tigers trying to play with tempo. Eagles brought in some fresh defenders. Lawrence pitches it, a long throw. Catch made by Rogers is going to be corralled after about a 5-yard gain. Final seconds of the first half. Sweeney spends a timeout as they try to work toward field goal range, or perhaps take a shot at the end zone. We'll see if they can add to the 6-point lead. "18 seconds from the Capital One halftime report with Kevin Nagandi, Mac Brown, and Jonathan Vilma. Update you on what's going on around the country. LSU in front. I see over Arkansas tonight. Irish were hammering the Seminoles, which everyone's been doing this season. No more timeouts for Clemson, Kirk, so it's going to be difficult for them to run the field goal team out if they get tackled in bounds. A first down, of course, would stop it momentarily. They could get up and spike it.
Yeah, this is something that Clemson prides themselves on, and they have a quarterback that, even though he's young, has a great amount of poise in these kind of situations. But yeah, first down, fire the ball, kill the clock, and obviously getting out of bounds and what they're trying to do right now.
Not yet in field goal range, we don't think, for Greg Hugel. Lawrence, thought about going downfield, gets sacked, and that's going to do it. Clock ticking down. They don't have any timeouts. Can they get a spike?
They got receivers 25 yards downfield, taking forever to get back.
4, 3, that sack. Makes it well, he spiked it, but did they preserve 1 second? The Eagles are lobbying, say the half is over. Isaiah McDuffie got in there, and that's the one thing that the young quarterback could not do in that situation.
Yeah, and that's the inexperience. I mean, the talent is there, has a tremendous amount of confidence in his arm, like most young quarterbacks with big talented arms. He has a lot of confidence in his receivers, but he held on obviously too long there. He should have just gotten rid of the ball, thrown that one away, and saved some time.
Yeah, they concluded there was a second to go, so the Eagles drop everybody back, and this figures to be a Hail Mary to end the half.
Timeout, Boston College.
We know this. Lawrence has got the arm to get it there. And they've got some big receivers to go up and get the football. And a wise timeout. BC's, they don't carry over. Might as well spend one here to figure out how to defend this. But a first half in which Clemson has gained 260 yards. Boston College has 24 yards of total offense.
And 1 yard rushing. How about if you told Steve Adazio yesterday in the meetings, you're going to get to the half, potentially down just 13-7. Remember, his whole goal is what? Let's drag them into the fourth quarter. Let's see if we can get them to the fourth quarter, being within striking distance. If you would have said you're only down 6 at half and you have 1 yard rushing, he wouldn't have believed that.
That's an offense that averages 226 yards rushing. In their 2 losses to Purdue and NC State, the ground game was limited, but not like this. He's going to drag him into the third quarter.
Yeah. Clemson has 9 plays inside the 15-yard line, and they only have the 1 touchdown in the fourth down play and 2 field goals.
3 receivers to the right, all of them big guys. And Lawrence rolls that direction and just launches to the end zone. It's a mass jump ball, but out of bounds. Gave nobody a chance to make a play. And so Boston College, despite paltry offensive production in the first half, still down only 6 points. Lawrence throws it 25 times for 216 passing yards. Not bothered by the cold or the wind at all.
Bothered by Jim Reed's defense and not being able to close inside the red zone. 4 times they've been in the red zone, only 1 touchdown.
Eagles lose their starting quarterback, Anthony Brown. Let's hear from Coach Adazio with Maria Taylor.
All right, Coach, your defense was able to hold on the very last series.
Yeah.
What have you seen from that side of the ball this entire night?
Well, I think we're playing really hard on defense. We've given up a couple of deep balls, but that's hard not to. So we're playing aggressive. I think we're going after them. We got to settle down on offense right now. We lost our quarterback, and we just got to go back in at halftime and get ourselves settled down, readjust our attack now. And we just got out of sync there a little bit. So we'll go back in, figure all that back out, get a new plan together here, and to accommodate EJ and just come back and get to work again.
What are some of those adjustments you feel like you have to make?
Well, EJ's has got really a lot of legs. He can run a lot of options. We're probably going to have to take a look at some of that and just the exact throws we want to utilize with him and make sure we're secure with our specials with him in there and just. He's a competitive, tough kid, and he'll be fine. We have to settle down and just readjust our plan.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Our buddy Lee Corso Kirk always says, improvise and adjust. That's what coaches have to do.
On the
BC will have to do that at halftime. They'll get the ball to begin the third quarter. Down only 6 at number 2 Clemson. End of the first half at Chestnut Hill. Capital One halftime report is coming up right after these messages. Music of Boston, Kirk. That's taking me back to junior high school. Welcome back to Saturday Night Football, presented by Walmart in this presentation of the ACC on ESPN. Chris, Kirk, and Maria set for the second half. Eagles will get the football down by 6 with the backup quarterback E.J. Perry at the helm. Clemson, of course, can clinch the division title, a spot back in the ACC championship game with a victory. Eagles, with the big upset, could seize control of their destiny, but some work to do with Anthony Brown out for the rest of the game. Walker sparked him. A punt return for a touchdown in the first half. Takes the kickoff from the 4. Runs straight into him. He's a physical kick returner. And now, what do you do if you're Adazio and Leffler and you got a quarterback that hasn't had a lot of experience and a very tough defense to face?
I really loved what he said when he was walking off with Maria. He was very direct. He said, listen, we got to go in at halftime, make some adjustments. He's an option kid. He has great feet. We got to tweak our plan that we built all week for our other quarterback, Anthony Brown, and try to fit it to his skill set. So let's see what adjustments they made here as a staff led by Scott Leffler, the offensive coordinator.
Ran just 23 plays in the first half, gained a total of 24 yards. This has been their main weapon. This is a guy that averages 128 yards per game rushing, 4th best in the FBS. But Dillon's been held in check.
Yeah, he sure has. As a team, only 4 yards rushing. And you're going to have to mix in some early down play action, but still a heavy dose of A.J. Dillon, obviously a big part of their attack.
End around. And Kobe White is just hammered hard. Did you hear the hit by Austin Bryant on the edge? It's a loss.
You know, you run that from the right hash into the boundary against this speed. That is a tough ask. Look at this. Christian Wilkins is already there to push White out, and then it's cleaned up by Austin Bryant. Talking about 2 of the best defensive linemen in the country into the boundary, chase that down in a hurry.
I think Kobe White says, I agree with you, Kirk. I didn't love that ball there. On 3rd down, it's a short throw, and Dillon is immediately upended. Flying up was A.J. Terrell, the sophomore corner, and Venables' defense gets him off the field 3 and out.
He is fired up because of the way his defense played this 3rd down. He goes with zone instead of man, allows his defensive backs and his linebackers to keep their eyes on a quick throw. Remember, E.J. Perry is a guy that wants to get the ball out of his hands on 3rd down pretty quickly, so he calls up the zone, and a great job by Terrell making that play.
Opponents converting 28% of their 3rd downs against Venables' defense. Eagles just 2 of 8 tonight. That's a booming punt. And Rodgers, who had the controversial muff in the first half, retreats and fields it and gets back to the 37-yard line. To Maria Taylor.
I spoke to Dabo coming out of the locker room, and he pointed to those 260 yards of total offense and says, we're doing a great job moving the ball. We just have to do better in the red zone and make some of the plays that are there. He referenced the 3 deep balls that he felt as though they should have made, and he also said that they have to find the run here in the second half. Only 44 yards rushing for Clemson. They want to get the run game going a little bit more, and of course he's very satisfied with his defense right now, guys.
Yeah, Maria, it's an offense that in 45 red zone trips has scored 35 touchdowns. Only kicked 6 field goals, but only 1 touchdown in 3 trips tonight. Etienne spins free. Travis Etienne makes a cut, shows the power and the speed, and gets inside the 40.
Boy, it does a great job. We get a safety blitz coming right into the face, right here, right into the face of Travis Etienne, and he's able to bounce off of that. That's the difference between Etienne this year as a sophomore with a year of being in that weight room versus being an explosive runner last year, just that big play threat. He's a more complete back. That was a great example of where he's grown.
Yep, but he's averaging 6.5 yards in his 10 carries so far tonight. Tigers threatening again, and Lawrence has a clean pocket, zips it across. Renfro makes a cut. Stutter stepping, still alive. Finally dragged down at the 5. Renfro, so many short catches, makes a big play downfield.
Look at the cushion and the matchup. Hunter Renfro, who's as quick and has as good a change of direction as any receiver you're going to see, matched up against Will Harris, a safety who's been blitzing, but he's 210 pounds. He's a physical guy. It's a mismatch. Lawrence takes advantage of it. Great route by 13. We've been seeing that for years.
Look, I've had 100 conversations with him in his Clemson career. He's closing in at 2,000 career receiving yards, and now keeper, big fella, just waltzes into the end zone. And the Tigers strike quickly with their first possession of the second half.
That's a great call. Maury Rodgers on the jet sweep look. They're going to go zone read. Read the in man who collapses down there. McDuffie and then they walk into the end zone. Let's take a look at the progressive pylon cam. Nice job. Great call, aggressive call there on 1st and 10, and Lawrence reads it perfectly that time as McDuffie collapsed down on the back and he walks into the end zone.
Yeah, it's his first career rushing touchdown, but the 32nd touchdown on the ground for this Tigers team, number 2 in the FBS. And the lead gets bigger and the mountain gets higher for the underdog Eagles. 20-7 for the number 2 team. Another reminder, tomorrow morning on ESPN, Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Also live on the ESPN app. You can watch it anywhere. So, Trevor Lawrence earlier threw for a 4th down touchdown to Richard. Waltz is in for his first career rushing touchdown, and the lead is now 13. BC still sitting at 22 yards of total offense. 74-yard punt return, providing the only points by this man Walker. He'll take a knee. Our Pacific Life game summary shows you the sad news. The 6th Eagles offensive play, and Anthony Brown is slammed down hard by Christian Wilkins, who lands on him with all 315 pounds and is out of the game. Then a risky play as Walker scoops it up after a touch to Tiger and goes 74 yards to the house.
Yeah, and really it's why it kept BC in his football game. And Trevor Lawrence, you see the numbers. Clemson moved the ball down into the red zone the first half 4 times, only came away with 1 touchdown. Dabo Sweeney telling Maria, obviously we talked about it, the importance of scoring in that red zone area. In that first possession, they did that very thing with Trevor Lawrence on the option.
And Perry to one of the tight ends. That's the top target there, Tommy Sweeney. The Tigers have done a good job defending those tight ends tonight so far.
They sure have, and getting pressure on the quarterback, Perry. It's a good 1st and 10 throw instead of waiting till 3rd down.
He got 6, and now Dillon trying to find a crease. And he will cut and spin for a 1st down. Got out of the tackle of Wallace and out to the 38.
You know, when you have a backup quarterback that hasn't played a lot of snaps, it's important to try to. Clemson's just saying, listen, we're taking A.J. Dillon out of the game. We are locked in on Dillon, and that's where Scott Leffler's trying to come up with other answers to try to slow them down.
Dillon cuts back. Tigers with that deep defensive line. Their backups are guys who can start most places. A lot of those in the game right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at 9 guys up close to the line of scrimmage. There's a look at a few guys and they're rotating in. Do a very good job, maybe as good a job as anybody. See all these white jerseys with the orange breeches getting up there close to the line of scrimmage, not feeling the threat of anything downfield.
Clemson brings out the orange breeches when it's a big game, when it's championship time. They can clinch the division tonight. And Perry is spun down by the junior safety Tanner Muse, who they feel is the most improved defensive back on the team.
And Tanner Muse is a very talented young man. Belmont, North Carolina, 6'1", 230, and fast. And I think the difference in him now from last year is he understands Brent Venables' scheme. He's communicating better, seeing it, and playing much faster up to that speed level that he has.
And he gets there. He doesn't miss tackles.
No.
It's 3rd and 9. Perry from the pocket delivers a high throw, and it's going to be ruled incomplete. Jeff Smith went up, tried to get a foot down, but I believe it landed on the sideline.
He couldn't decide which foot to get down. It was, you know, he's trying to figure out which one could help him try to get that 1 foot in, and you know that left foot looked like it touched the line before the right foot touched. Let's see.
Quite see it from that angle. You're right, 1 foot landed.
Which foot touched? Well, the right foot may have touched first.
The left toe definitely hit the white.
Yeah, but let's see. That was a pretty good angle. That right foot hits there, and then the left foot goes down. That may be a catch.
If the right foot hit first, it was by a millisecond.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it looked like that right toe may have touched.
Well, they do review it. They don't have to stop the game to get a look at it, and they're satisfied that they saw nothing that would overturn the call. So it is 4th down. That's a nice punt that Rogers makes a fair catch at the 16-yard line. So the Tigers head back, but up 13. Go back on offense.
Saturday Night Football, presented by Walmart on ABC, is brought to you by USAA. Join us in saluting our veterans. Go to USAA.com/Veterans Day. Samsung QLED TV, the official TV of ESPN College Football. And the Ford F-Series, built Ford tough, built Ford proud.
Aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. From the end zone to the uprights, nothing comes between hard work and a goal. Goodyear, more driven. Tigers successful in their first possession of the second half. Back on offense, having allowed just 36 yards total offense to BC now. Keeper again, and Lawrence tests the right side, able to elude a tackler and is knocked down hard. They're not
shying away from
this
running.
guy some hits, are they?
No, not at all. I mean, and they keep running this zone read, and Boston College continues to take away the backs and giving Trevor Lawrence the read to keep it. Now, he's not as obviously as dangerous a runner as what you see with Etienne, but he can go. I mean, for a big guy, he covers a lot of ground. He's 6'6".
And pump fake, broken up back to the quarterback. He shouldn't have caught it. Allen deflected the pass. Instinct took over, and it's a big loss back inside the 5.
First things first is that's a great play again. Zach Allen's played his tail off tonight, which you'd expect him to do. Instincts, athletic ability, goes up and knocks it down. And there's the inexperience again with Trevor Lawrence. I know it happens fast, but he's just got to knock the ball down. As soon as it comes back to him, he's an athlete. He instinctively catches the ball. He'll learn from this when they watch the film. He just got to knock it down and get the ball back to the original line of scrimmage.
Mitch Hyatt, the starting left tackle. Cook still out of the game. Freshman Carmen is in there in left tackle. And this crowd is still energized, still into it. 3rd and 19. They get it out quickly. Far side to Trevion Thompson. It's a short game, and the Eagles defense forces a punt.
Yeah, this Zach Allen is a big-time player. We've talked a lot about the Clemson D-line and their futures. You talked about how he loves to watch J.J. Watt film on Fridays to kind of get him in the right mindset. I mean, he's maybe not quite as big as J.J. Watt, but his game, his style kind of reminds you of a J.J. Watt type of player. Whether it's speed rush, getting around, using his hands, defending the run, getting up and knocking balls down, kid is a big-time player.
He's an impressive guy, too. 3.8 GPA, is a finance major. Talked about his 2 grandmothers. He feels inspired by the work ethic, and as Spires gets the punt away, it's high and short, and Walker makes a fair catch. His 2 grandmothers, one of them was a single mom who raised 3 kids. The other grandmother in Russia was put in a Nazi labor camp, and she had the toughness to survive that, get out, and he said he's so inspired by both of his grandmothers, Zach Allen.
Yeah, I read that, and I was just blown away. I love to hear stories about some of these players and where their background and what they've been through, and for him to talk about the women in his life and both of his grandmothers had such a big role in his life.
He's a modest guy. You're talking about what a great player he is and future he has. He doesn't act like that at all. Really driven to continue to improve and get better. Again, this Eagles offense with good field position gets something going. Perry is chased immediately. You see the quickness that the quarterback has, but all of that to just gain 3 yards. Kendall Joseph, the backer, got in there in a hurry.
Yeah, he sure did. And also Trey Lamar. Trey Lamar is a big man. When I came into this game, I thought, okay, I can't wait to watch Trey Lamar at 6'4", 255 against A.J. Dillon.
Dillon's got it. Not much. Yeah, Dabo Swinney says Trey Lamar is built for this kind of game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were going to see a lot of collisions between 2 running the ball and 57 making plays. Look at him, 6'4", he's up to 255 now. I mean, just a big Mike linebacker.
Leads the team in tackles. Eagles need 5 on this 3rd down. It's Glines coming in motion. Perry rolls out and delivers in the flat, and the catch is made by Glines. Nice little route, good play design. It's a 1st down.
A nice rub route here, kind of a pick that they use to try to watch the action of the 2 outside receivers. That gets Glines out into the corner, man to man, and Joseph, the linebacker, trying to stay with him. And that screen there, kind of that rub route opened it up.
Quarterback keeper, he is swallowed up by Isaiah Simmons. They tried a little deception with the two-back look. Clemson wasn't fooled.
Well, Austin Bryant takes away the back, so he's going to read Austin Bryant initially. Boom, he takes it away. The only problem is when he pulled it, you talked about Isaiah Simmons is already there. Brent Venables brought heat at the right time there on 1st and 10.
Well-schooled, well-prepared, extremely talented up to this challenge tonight so far. Again, two backs in there on 2nd and 15. It's an option look and a big hit on the quarterback. He was cut in half by Muse.
Well, Steve Adazio told Maria walking off, we got to try to come up with some answers to kind of some different wrinkles. And we lose Brown and we get Perry. We got to take advantage of his ability to run option. And that's what we've seen. They're trying to get him on the edge, trying to run the football more and not just rely on this running game and play action.
Figure the Eagles have 2 plays to get these 9 yards. On 3rd down, 2 tight ends in there. And it's Levy who runs it straight ahead. He delivered the blow. He ran over Kendall Joseph. It'll be 4th down. Offense on the field.
Levy had his best game of his young career last week. 11 carries and 75 yards against Virginia Tech. And he ran a lot of the times like that. I think he showed these coaches a little something. And he's going to get more and more of an opportunity to be the change of the pace to A.J. Dillon.
So they go for it on 4th and 4 as expected. Perry looks and delivers. Catch made, but not a first down. They have been all over the tight ends. Tommy Sweeney is the leading receiver. Venables says, just like we talked about in practice.
I mean, it's exactly how you draw it up. They brought the blitz with Simmons and Joseph, forced him to throw this football short of the first down. Sweeney catches that 2 yards short, and there's 2 more defenders, and look who's a happy man.
Celebrate Veterans Weekend. You got the powerful Duke Blue Devils against Mike Krzyzewski's alma mater and his former coaching stop, West Point. Duke looks like the Alabama of college basketball.
Are you kidding me?
It's Zion. I think he's like the Tua of college hoops. I mean, look at that. That's crazy.
Dude, Barrett's the freak. I mean, he's unbelievable.
Lawrence rolls out and delivers a strike and a nice hands catch by Renfro along the sidelines.
How about that seed? How about that seed right there? Just throws an absolute rope. Gets his shoulder turned, rolling to his left. And look at the accuracy on the run.
A lot of righties can throw going to the right. I think he throws to his left as well as anybody in the sport.
I think he throws to his left and his right. Pretty good. The ball looks like it's a kid's ball in his hand. I was talking to the coaches. We were talking about the wind and possible rain and it being cold, but he made a big deal about it. They said he has huge hands. We're not real concerned about the weather.
Feaster spins free, tough running, fresh legs. Now to midfield. They're still trying to push the pile. They finally blow the whistle.
Feaster is healthy now. You have ETN you have to deal with. Feaster, Choice, Dixon. Lynn J. Dixon is a true freshman that they have that they'll rotate in throughout the game, but it's tough enough to deal with ETN. But when you have to deal with a fresh back for 60 minutes in this offense and the throwing of Lawrence with these receivers, that's why this offense is so balanced.
They've had great teams, never had a team as deep as this Clemson team is. Feaster that time was chased out of the backfield. Ray Smith, the tackle, got in there. And Allen again.
Yeah, and Ray Smith doesn't get talked about as much, but when you talk to the coaches, they get real excited about him. And keep in mind, he's 320, but they talk about his athletic ability for his size. And another guy that probably has a future playing on Sundays. But this defensive line has some talent.
Allen continues to make plays that will show up on Mel Kiper's draft tape, speaking of Sundays. 3rd and 5. Eagles rush 3. Lawrence has time and shows the burst that he slides, but he slid before the marker. And so he is going to be marked down where he began to give himself up, and it's not a first down.
Yeah, and where the ball is when he did go into that initial slide is where they're going to spot the ball.
It's a rule designed to protect the quarterback. It's really even before where his knee hits. It's where the ball is when he begins to make that slide motion. And that will cost him a first down, and Dabo was hot about that because he saw a chance to chew some more clock and add to this lead.
And it was a really good call because of the way this defense has pressured him on third down. Allen, all these guys are trying to get upfield. What a great call, quarterback draw, to be able to just sneak up there and pick up those yards. The slide prevents the first.
Get the snap off with one on the play clock. Gets a kick high with a lot of backspin, but not exactly what Spires was looking for. Eagles will start from their 21-yard line. Back to Matt for an update.
Thank you, Chris. We're around the ACC, checking in on Georgia Tech and Miami, and who says Georgia Tech can't throw? Taquan Marshall does just that. 31 yards to Brad Stewart. 27-21 the final. Miami now 5-5 on the season. Chris and Kirk, back to you.
Matt filling in. Our good friend Cassidy Hubbard, not in the studio tonight, on maternity leave. So all of us wishing her well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eagles, that total offense creeping up to 56 yards now, Kirk, on their 38 plays.
Creeping.
They fake the reverse and a pitch downfield, a dangerous throw and a nice catch. Adreezy, the tight end, went up to grab it.
How about that catch? And there are two Clemson defenders there. Simmons was kind of trailing him. Johnson comes over thinking he may have a play on a possible interception. And Adreezy with great focus.
Dillon spun down. He pitched it right into double coverage. It's just a great play by the tight end.
Yeah, Adreezy, keep in mind, 6'3", 250, goes up. And not only makes the play, but he stays in bounds. Gets both those feet in there. I think you look at all these tight ends. Sweeney, 89, gets most of the attention, but Adreezy definitely shows great skill. And they feel that Hunter Long, the freshman, could be the most talented of the bunch.
Play action. Perry fires incomplete. Tried to get it on the far side there to White. It was broken up by Mullen. And the frustrated night continues for A.J. Dillon. We admire his toughness playing through a high ankle sprain, Kirk, but just 3 yards per carry in his 13 rushes.
Yeah. 13 carries, 39 yards. This defense without any threat at all. The passing game going downfield. They've adjusted to just locking in as if they weren't already locked in on A.J. Dillon. Now they've really zeroed in on him.
Tight ends in the slot. Levy is in the game. Protection breaks down, and it's a sack. Perry is dropped by Cleveland Farrell, who was on the ground, just reached out a big arm and grabbed the quarterback.
Usually you think of Farrell, you think of him coming off the edge. Watch how he works underneath here. This is just an effort sack. He goes down, but he doesn't give up, and eventually, even with a lineman on top of him, he gets to the quarterback.
That is not giving up as a pass rusher.
Yeah, that's wanting that sack right there.
300 pounds on top of you, but you got one arm free. Grab the quarterback by the ankle. It's an ugly kick. And squeeze a few more yards out of the bounce. Put Clemson back to work at the 39. Curtis Wilson, the All-State bus, making the trip up to Chestnut Hill. It's for your All-State mayhem moment.
How about mayhem? Northwestern Wildcats and Pat Fitzgerald go up to Iowa City with a chance to clinch. What a catch right there. That kind of represents this game for Northwestern. They win at Kinnick. They didn't win a non-conference game. Everybody thought Wisconsin would be the team that would get to Indy. Instead, Pat Fitzgerald, congratulations. The Wildcats are headed to Indianapolis to play in the Big Ten Championship.
Take on the winner of Ohio State, Michigan. Buckeyes grinding past the Spartans in East Lansing today. Pitch to the edge. Pads or pops. And knocked down there is Choice right at the line of scrimmages. Eagles defense hardly quitting, playing with great effort and energy still.
Yeah, they really have played well, all things considered. The challenges of defending this Clemson attack and the different ways that they can come after you really have had a great plan, and for the most part have executed it pretty well to keep themselves within striking distance, just not getting anything from the offense tonight.
Lawrence zips it far side. Catch made and shoved out of bounds is Rogers with 16 seconds. Maria?
Hey guys, and also Mitch Hyatt, you've seen the left tackle starter for Clemson. We haven't seen him in the last two series, and about 3 minutes left in the first half. He went in the tent a couple of times. He came out, was kind of looking at his hand, was rotating his shoulder, and right now he's not sitting with the starters on the offensive line when they come over to the sidelines. He's sitting back in the second row, so not sure if he's out. He's standing and holding his helmet, but he hasn't been in for 2 series.
Man making his 52nd career start. He's played more than 3,400 snaps. You can see disappointment on his face. But the Tigers up by 13, headed to the final quarter here in Chestnut Hill. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Set for the final quarter at Chestnut Hill, Saturday Night Football, presented by Walmart. Part of Veterans Week, presented by USAA. This frosty night in New England, the BC student section trying to stay in it. Their defense has certainly played with a lot of spirit. And despite the fact that the Eagles have mustered 6 first downs and 61 yards through 3 quarters, they're still hanging in the game with hope if they can get Clemson off the field on this 3rd and 2. Adam Choice is the back. Lawrence is looking to throw, and he flips it. Quick completion to Renfro, who's been busy tonight. Veteran.
Well, he's such a talented receiver, such an experienced receiver. There's whether you play man, you bracket him, you play off. In that case, he just knows where to settle in. And he and Trevor Lawrence over these last 6 weeks developing a very good chemistry together.
And Renfro to the far side makes a catch again. Hunter was joking. He's the old man of this receiving corps. Of course, made one of the biggest plays in Clemson history, the catch that beat Alabama in the championship game. And he's a guy that's going to finish his career with more starts than any Clemson receiver ever.
People will, of course, remember that touchdown.
Yep.
But what I remember is when he was a freshman the year before, the plays that he made against Minka Fitzpatrick, who was a highly touted 5-star recruit in the game in Phoenix.
Starter from both the 4th or 5th game of his career. And Lawrence launching downfield to Higgins. Again, giving the receiver no chance to make a play.
Yeah, and I was watching him after he threw it. He's kind of flipping his wrist right now. But yeah, that's the second or third time we've seen the ball carry out of bounds. Looks like they have a holding call against Clemson.
Holding, offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It looked like the ball just kind of got away from him.
Here's what happened after the throw, what you were talking about, Kirk.
I just happened to look back at him, and he's obviously disappointed. And just kind of, I think he's more just kind of thinking about the technique and the fundamentals of throwing that deep ball. Knowing him and his work ethic, from what these coaches say, that'd probably be something he'll go right back to work on next week.
2nd and 14. ETN back in the game. Eagles rush 4. Lawrence looks to flip it in the flat. It's a screen, but they sniff it out. And ETN, although he's fighting hard, we drop for a loss there. Hamp Cheevers, the corner, was there in a hurry.
Yeah, and again, he didn't necessarily even give this a chance to develop. He just comes right away anticipating that Boston College's defense would be out of position. I don't even think he saw Hamp Cheevers, who was almost just waiting there for the ball to be thrown. Play never had a chance.
Cheevers, who has 5 picks, tops in the ACC and among Power 5 schools, 2nd in the FBS.
Looks like Bockhorst now is checked out.
3rd and 19. And Lawrence has the ball batted in the air and incomplete. Zach Allen one more time.
Ankrum continues to struggle on that right side, and here's watch 2 right across from him. He's been going outside. He gets his weight on his outside foot, and then he goes back to the inside. So this guy is a senior. He's been around. He's not just, you see a lot of guys in college just have the speed to get around the corner and the bend. This guy can do that at 285. He can also get back underneath, use his hands, and get those offensive linemen off balance. That was beautiful.
He was so nimble. He was getting pinballed by 2 blockers. All he could do was get the hand up, and that was enough to break the play up. What a night for Allen. May not result in a win, but his stock just continues to rise. And the punt is going to roll dead down at the 12-yard line. The senior from New Canaan playing his heart out tonight. And BC finally musters some offense. The Tigers defense tonight, Kirk.
Yeah, they've done a heck of a job. And once Anthony Brown went down, they have locked in on A.J. Dillon in this running game, making it tough for Dillon with only 39 yards. Look how they leverage the football. Take any chance at all away for the quarterback, Perry, to make a play. And here's a third down. They get pressure, force a short throw. No chance of picking up that first down. And Brent Venables is fired up and proud of that defense tonight.
That was a slant thrown just behind C.J. Lewis, who was open. It's been rare to have Eagles receivers running open. That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah. That ball behind him, you're right. Had a soft cushion. Missed him.
1.5 yards per play. BC's 43 offensive snaps tonight. Dillon, total of 39 yards rushing. There's a keeper, and nice move, elusive move by Perry to spin for some hard-earned yards. It'll set up third down.
I know the Patriots have a big game on the road in Nashville, and Mike Vrabel, head coach of the Tennessee Titans. The Titans at 4-4. His son Tyler Vrabel has a very bright future. Freshman. Coaches were talking on and on about what a future he has here as offensive lineman.
Adazio, of course, with an offensive line background, knows how to recruit that position, as White is just level by Terrell.
Terrell has had a great night, not just in coverage, but coming up to make plays and showing he can get physical. Talk about a guy with a bright future. So long, 6'2", 190. Him on one side, Trevon Mullen on the other. They have two really talented corners.
That missed opportunity, that slant on first down. If you're Boston College against this defense, you got to take advantage of every one of those chances. They couldn't. And here's the punt to Rodgers, who retreats to the 40. Amari Rodgers gets the edge, has blockers, and explodes. Amari Rodgers, touchdown, Clemson. Each team with a punt return to the house tonight. You could see that developing early.
You sure could. I would say that T. Martin, his father, would be going crazy right now, but USC's in the middle of playing the Cal Bears. That was set up perfectly. And Amari Rodgers has big play written all over him.
58-yard touchdown. And Maria, you know that Amari and his dad, T. Martin, who is with the Trojans, do keep in close contact, don't they?
They sure do, Chris. I mean, they talk every single Monday at the beginning of the week, and they send their text messages out. They check back in midweek to talk about the matchups, and on every Saturday morning, he gets a text from his dad that he loves them and to have a great game. I'm sure T. Martin will be excited that his son just scored that touchdown.
Amari will have a lot to talk about when he next contacts his dad. 27-7 Tigers.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Walmart. Light up Christmas at Walmart. In part by Pacific Life. Experience the power of Pacific. And Chick-fil-A Nuggets. Tonight is Nugget Night.
Progressive Pylon Cam giving you angles tonight, as the aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Keep pushing day in and day out on the field and on tires you can trust to help you go the distance. Goodyear, more driven. Quick view of the home of the Red Sox, world champions again. So many championships piled up by Boston pro sports teams. BC, by the way, has 3 NCAA hockey titles in the last 11 years, and a total of 4 during that amazing 18-year run of Boston pro sports championships. Rodgers had the muff punt earlier, takes one to the house. And this is Walker, who's accounted for BC's only points, knocked down to the 30. If there's one team that many feel is equipped to deal with Alabama, it's Clemson. And Dabo Swinney had fun on one of our studio shows with the notion that it's just Alabama and everybody else in the sport.
Back when I was a player, you know, they had kind of the big time bus, and then they had the Roy bus, the rest of y'all, and you know, it's kind of Alabama and then the rest of y'all. That's we're just glad to be on the Roy bus right now and to still have a chance.
Yeah, I don't know if he really means that they just got a chance of it. The Roy bus quickly caught on. Rest of y'all.
John Cooper used to call it the AYO bus, all you others.
And Dillon is knocked down, and the merchandise quickly following Dabo's Roy bus. We're coming, says the teacher.
Let's just make it perfectly clear. they're not part of the Roy bus. Alabama and Clemson are actually exchanging soft drinks and snacks.
So they each have a bus, and then it's the rest of y'all behind those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the Roy bus is behind those two.
As the fake end around, and Perry wants to take a downfield shot on the carry, and it's actually caught. What a play. Kobe White had it as it bounced off of Tiger's hands.
He had an interception. Kendall Joseph makes a great play to be in position. Just doesn't come up with the interception. It's right there in front of the tight end. Ball goes off his face mask straight up into the air to White. BC, it's been one of those nights for their offense.
They'll take it.
That's what it took.
Guns tonight, 22 yards.
Trying to get over 100 yards of total offense.
They're within 10.
What are you doing?
Play action play. And another delivery downfield, and there was a miscommunication there. No receiver in the area, and Austin Bryant provided the pressure. Back to Matt for an update.
Okay, Chris, first year that Chad Morris there in Arkansas, trying to get one against LSU. Staying in this is Woo Pig. Ties Story to Cheyenne O'Grady. 32 yards, and don't look now. They're within 7, 24-17, late in the fourth. Chris and Kirk.
Kansas.
Looking for their first SEC win. Chad Morris, of course, who left Clemson. He'll be a head coach. Dexter Lawrence still making plays, still bringing the attitude in there.
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence. We've talked about all four of these guys. Watch 90 just push back. The offensive lineman there. I mean, John Baker, the center, on skates.
You're just chuckling because that's just raw
my gosh,
power.
it's illegal. I mean, you're not allowed to be able to do that. Keep in mind, Lawrence is 350 pounds and can move.
3rd and 12, another bad snap. Perry collects it, deep trouble, somehow escapes, and is going to get back near the line of scrimmage. Wilkins chased him out. That could have been another disaster, but it's going to be instead another 3rd and long.
I don't know if Baker was thinking about the last play. And
It's Bill Buckner here in Boston.
Getting a little bit nervous. Baker got handled by Dexter Lawrence. The very next play, it's a low snap.
Sorry to bring up that Red Sox fans. We did give him some love, but that was Buckner right through the 5-hole.
Right through the wickets.
Bruins fans would say. So it's a punting situation at midfield, maybe. Does Dazio feel like gambling? Down by 20? No. This one's going to punt it away. And it will bounce into the end zone. 9:20 to play in Chestnut Hill as the Tigers close in on the division title. Well, the Red Sox gathering another World Series, and the trophy really made the rounds. They take it to a Celtics game, goes to a Bruins game. They get saluted by the Bruins there. They put it on a big truck and drive it into a Patriots game.
How about that?
And Cora rips off the Red Sox jersey and rocks the Patriots jersey. And the Boston...
They are spoiled here,
aren't they? My goodness.
They win everything.
Clemson chasing more trophies and more hard work. This is a trophy game. We'll show you that a little bit later as Lawrence scrambles and takes a loss and is tripped out of bounds. But if you think about it in the lifespan of these Boston College students since 2001, 5 Super Bowls for the Patriots, 4 World Series for the Sox. Celtics and Bruins have each won 1 World Championship.
Man.
BC Hockey's got 4. I would mention that BU Hockey's got a couple as well in that time.
Just the Pats alone would be a great thing if you were a sports fan. But they're just every sport.
BC Hockey, by the way, off to a bit of a slow start this year. I'm told 2-5 record. Lawrence from the pocket, incomplete, trying to zip it in there to receiver, and it was off the hands of Chase. 3rd and 15 now. They're still firing the football. 35th pass attempt by Lawrence. He's 26 of 35 for 272. Thrown for 1 and run for his first career touchdown tonight. Doesn't do much to chew the clock. You have incomplete passes. But an aggressive approach. No throttling back. ETN is the back. The Eagles rush 4, and it's a running play, and they're going to get close, but not quite on that run. So punt team will come out for Clemson.
Yeah, this offense, you know, they have 27 points. They put up some numbers. It's been an okay night, you know, based on their standard. That's probably part of the reason that Dabo Swinney still has them in there, that first unit, despite they're up by 20. And there's really no chance for Boston College to put 20 points up on the board here in these last 8 minutes. Could easily go to your backups. And I'll tell you, Dabo, of all the coaches in the country, I would say he is as willing to put in backups. In fact, they brag about how many players they typically play when they get up on people.
They're going to let the play clock run down, use the full allotment, and take a timeout inside of 8 minutes to play before the punt. Now, Dabo seemed really loose and relaxed. He seemed like he knew he was bringing a team north into a tough environment that was fully capable of handling all these challenges, and he was right. I mean, on both sides of the football, it's not overwhelming like the last 4 games have been, but this is not the easiest place to play, and they're going to be heavily favored to get back to the playoff and make some more noise.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we just talked about how Alabama, Clemson, and then you could draw that line. You know, it's going to be a fun next 3 to 4 weeks to see how this thing shakes out. But you look at the remaining schedule that they have and the games that they still have to play, it's hard to imagine Clemson tripping up before they get ready for another shot to get into the postseason.
ACC finale at home next week against Duke, and then it's home against South Carolina. They've won the last 4 in that rivalry series. And of course, the ACC championship game. Back to Charlotte for yet another trip, right, for a 4th consecutive.
See that bottom line there, 92% chance of making the playoff. That's got to be the best of the remaining of all the teams.
Walker fields another one on the bounce, but this time the coverage team, which has a whole bunch of starters on it. Tanner Muse drives him out of bounds. And that comes the defense back on the field, protecting a 20-point lead. Pacific Life Games summary shows you what an efficient performance it's been from Trevor Lawrence in his first start up north and at night. Hunter Renfrow has been the top receiver, 8 catches. ETN, an efficient night, but it's really been about the Clemson defense that has disrupted this BC offense, knocked Anthony Brown, the starter, out of the game in the Tigers' first defensive series, and now the backup comes in there. Immediate pressure. Kendall Joseph came on the blitz and knocked him down.
Yeah, they've got about 6 or 7 of the backups in, but just brought the blitz there. They've been bringing those linebackers a lot, and this time Joseph just comes clean right up the middle. Nobody accounts for him, and it's a quarterback's worst nightmare. Pressure right up the middle. There's just nothing he can do.
Kendall Joseph, by the way, one of 17 graduates who play for the Clemson team. That's the 2nd most in FBS. As Dillon is strung out, loses the ball out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
Chris, I went back and looked. Go ahead, bud.
No, I was just talking about, I just wanted to salute as we see Dillon and hobble off. All the graduates, there's 835 of them in FBS. Wilkins and Joseph, 2 of the guys who play on Venables defense, represent that, and just want to salute them. Good work.
Absolutely. Guys have been around. I went back and looked at the last 5 years this Clemson defense has played. They've averaged in 66 games in these 5 years, allowing 17 points in those 5 years.
Wow. Well, the 4th sack tonight gets BC way behind the 6th, and that's Levy trying to get.
Think about how many games you watch on a Saturday. It's 49-42, and it's 52-39, or whatever. I mean, it's just so many points. This Clemson defense, not 5 games, 5 years for 66 games. They're giving up 17 points a game. That's why they play complementary football. It's defense, special teams. You saw the return by Rodgers. The offense, it's a tough team to knock out.
That's for sure. And the dominance this year by Clemson comes in a year when so many other teams in the ACC are down. Florida State, Miami, Louisville is completely fallen apart, and the division is going to go one more time to Clemson. PlayStation 4 brings you the rankings. An emphatic win by the Irish at home. Final home game for the Irish seniors, 42-13 over the Seminoles.
And I think it's important for Notre Dame to continue to look good and not just win games. It was a big win over, I know, Florida State. Everybody seems to be beating them up this year, but important for Notre Dame to do that, and also for Michigan getting a big win over a Rutgers team that obviously is down.
All the top teams were big favorites this weekend, all of handling business. What do you know about the trophy that's at stake here? The O'Rourke McFadden Trophy goes back to the 1940 Cotton Bowl. That's the first meeting between these two teams. And Charlie O'Rourke and Banks McFadden wore those old leather helmets back when players were really tough. And it's been a trophy game since 2008.
I honestly didn't know that this is a trophy game. Are they going to run across the field and grab it like Wisconsin and Minnesota where they grab the axe?
I think they're going to keep it. Clemson's going to win their 8th straight in the series.
But I just mean, is
traffic there.
They're going to carry it around like this?
We're going to find out. This goes back to that Cotton Bowl. This was a year where about 3 teams turned down the bid. So Clemson and BC said, yeah, we'll go play. It wasn't a thriller. There's 1 touchdown scored in the game. Tigers won it 6-3, missed the point. Frank Leahy was the coach of Boston College team that season. That was the first meeting, and of course they end up in the ACC, and it has been dominance in the last 8 years for the folks in orange and white. Third and 10. And Lawrence thought about throwing. He's chased by Allen, and he's going to just fire it incomplete. A flag came in late. Cheevers was defending Kendrick over there.
His right hand grabbed onto the back of the jersey of Kendrick. I think that's what the flag came in.
Defense, number 4. The ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
The back of his jersey or the back of his helmet, and definitely made contact before the ball got to him. So the right arm, he just grabbed onto the back of the jersey.
Yeah, if you grab and spin the guy, you're going to get that flag. Not many penalties tonight. That's just the 7th accepted penalty between the two teams. But it gives the Tigers a first down and an opportunity to chew more clock. Still throwing. Thompson on the edge. He's going to be knocked down out of bounds. It's our Pacific Life game summary. Quarterback comparison. You suggested there wouldn't be any trouble with Lawrence in the cold weather. His first trip north of the state of Virginia. And of course Perry forced into emergency duty when Anthony Brown was knocked out. And we don't want to speculate, but it did seem to be the kind of injury that, as the passes dropped on the edge there, that might force Perry or perhaps the third quarterback, Matt McDonald, to try to take this season home for the Eagles. It's a potential way.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, but it definitely changes how Boston College tried to attack tonight. And you know, they were kind of facing an uphill battle to begin with. Steve Addazio would be the first one to tell you that. Respect that he has for Brent Venables and this very talented Tigers defense.
It's 3rd and 3 play. Lawrence flips it back to the boundary, and the catch is made. And Overton, his first catch of the night, first down inside the 40.
You know, the one thing we're going to see over the time is Trevor Lawrence is talented, but even on this throw, he comes right back and just throws it, and he got away with it. But there's been just a few plays tonight where he shows his youth and shows his inexperience, and I really look forward to watching him because I know how diligent he is with his preparation and his film study and trying to continue to just get better and better. And that's the thing. Every week he's going to learn, and every week he's going to go to a different level. It's not just about having a big arm and the physical talent.
He's got the big arm, and he throws a pick right there. As Cheevers is going to make his 6th pick of the season, which is going to put him in the FBS co-lead.
That's huge. That's huge. But that's another example of what I'm talking about. You're running out the clock here. The coaches are still willing to throw. He has such confidence in his arm and his receivers. He thinks he can make this play. And you've got to be a little bit more respectful of the football and not just throw it. And there's been maybe 3 or 4 times tonight where he's just kind of went from one side to the other and just thrown the football. And I think when he goes back and looks at the film, those will be areas he'll try to continue to make improvement.
By the way, that's incredibly the first time this year that Amari Rodgers had been targeted as a receiver and not been a completion. And our slant across the middle, and a big play for this offense.
Well, there's an accurate throw. Hits him in stride and allows him to use his speed.
Right out to the 34. I'm going to go back to what you said, because I think Lawrence is an interesting story, and he's already so good and so gifted, as you point out, that you grade him with a very high standard. Even though he's only made a handful of starts in his career, the coaches say he does things that a junior or a senior would do. So you expect a lot out of him.
Yeah, yeah.
Offense, number 67.
And I think
5-yard penalty, first down.
And I think because of his potential and some of the plays you see, you sometimes just start to think, okay, that's who he is, but you forget. Guy's only starting, what is this, his 5th or 6th start? So it's very natural. I don't care what quarterback you're ever talking about in the history of the sport. It takes a while for them to kind of work some of those kinks out of their game. And the only way you do that is make mistakes. It's okay. You're supposed to make those mistakes and then have a chance to learn from them.
Think about the productivity of this offense. 19 touchdown passes in the season. Before that one, he only had 3 picks. You think about Deshaun Watson. He was productive, but he threw a lot of picks his first couple years. So he made his mistakes and learned too.
Absolutely. Look at that finished product.
2nd and 15. There's an airmail ball. Tried to get it to the tight end. Way over the hand of Sweeney. And this guy, Sweeney, has been well covered. A lot of respect on the Clemson side for this big, tall tight end. And they have not let him get free tonight.
No, they haven't. And that a big part of what BC wanted to do was not just with Sweeney, but all 6 of their tight ends, because of that size, and it could have been a matchup to their advantage off the play action pass game. Just after the injury to Brown, just had not been in play at all.
It's a long throw on the sidelines. It's incomplete. Smith couldn't quite come up with it. Got about 50 catches combined with those tight ends coming into this game, and they have really been held in check. That by my count, they got about 4 between them tonight.
Yeah, pretty good ball here. The right hash all the way to the sideline, and you can see the ball come out of the receiver's hands as he had a foot in. He had both his feet in. He just couldn't hold on to the football.
Expecting to see some trickery. They have a bunch of dudes on this roster that can throw the football very well. Smith, the ex-quarterback, is one of them, but maybe the relentless pressure from Clemson, the fact that Brown was knocked out of the game, we haven't really seen them try to trick the Tigers, create the shock plays that way. And Carlson has been way, way too busy. Rodgers bobbles that one. It's an adventurous night again for the Tigers punt returner, who's had the highs and the lows. Well, Tuesday on ESPN, the college football playoff top 25 rankings. The committee back to work this weekend in Texas, watching the games, and based on the results we showed you, the lopsided wins by the teams at the top, wouldn't really expect a change in the top of the rankings.
No. Hate to take away some of the excitement.
Can we send them home? I mean, do they have to be there? Fellas, just punch out, go home.
Right.
Is there something else we can? Venables' defense holding BC to 113 total yards and just 8 first downs. He's still over there coaching.
Yeah. One of the best, if not the best, in the country on that side of the ball. Numbers prove it.
BC's had to face Manny Diaz in that crazy Miami defense, Bud Foster, and now Venables. How about that for a 1-2-3 in 3 weeks? Easter shows some speed. Choice bangs for a first down. Later tonight on ESPN after the Cal USC game. Sports Center with Stan Verrett and Neil Everett. Talk about Tua. Is that knee hurting worse than people think? Nick Saban's quarterback concern. We'll have the reveal of our top 4 teams. Jimmy Butler to the 76ers trade.
Is there any drama in our top 4 teams?
Maybe I'll just shuffle them around for entertainment purposes. With it, Joyce lost the football and alertly fallen on there by Overton. A little bit of loss of focus from this Clemson team, but they have come north and they have handled their business. And the Tiger fans who showed up well. There were Orange fans sprinkled in all the sections. They bought up some BC tickets. This is impressive.
Love to see them travel. They love this Clemson Tigers team. Lynn J. Dixon is in the game. This guy, true freshman running back. Just when you think you've had enough of Etienne, Feaster, Choice, here comes maybe this guy could be as good as any of them.
He's number 23.
Oh, no.
The other guy from Georgia takes off. That's a good setup, Kirk, because he's going to gain a lot of yards in his career.
This guy is just raw and is only going to talk about all these young, talented players they have. This guy is going to become a superstar in this backfield, as if they need another one.
Well, could Clemson add to a 20-point lead in the final minute? A few folks interested in that. Don't appear to be in victory formation just yet. They gave him a throw with that run by Dixon getting loose momentarily. Take a break.
Will Sweeney's in the game too. Get him the ball.
Matt Berry standing by the Ford wrap-up show, Kirk, as they plot and plan over there on the far sideline with that Gatorade bath.
Looks aggressive. It looks aggressive.
Bryant and Farrell.
Aggressive.
This is a flashback to 10 years ago. He got his first win here as an interim coach. He got a bath that night. I guess they can celebrate the fact that they're going to win the Atlantic Division. Your guy Dixon spun free.
Dabo's still dry.
Oh, was it Dabo? Wait a minute. Dabo gave a little.
That was Lemansky Hall.
Fake.
Lemansky Hall. Dabo's still dry for now.
Those veterans over there, they're so plotting something. They got something cooking.
Yeah, they definitely
on the far sideline. Dixon's giving folks a little bit of a thrill here as he continues to look dangerous with every touch. This might be the last play of the game. And he's going to spin around and be stopped at the line of scrimmage.
There they go. There they go.
Dabo showed the speed. He didn't quite stay dry, but they didn't get him over the head. Wilkins, he's got a great relationship with his veterans. With his the sneak attack late. As Sweeney returns to the scene of his first victory as a head coach and stays perfect on the season. Lawrence does his job. Respect for the job that Adazio has done. He says this may be the best team that he's played against, and he's going back to his days at Florida as an assistant, taking on some Bama teams. That was what he thought of this Clemson group.
Yeah, strong statement. And because of the youth in some key areas of Clemson, they're just going to keep getting better.
Respect here. It's a beautiful moment.
That was really good. Zach Allen,
Wilkins back in his home state, and Zach Allen exchanging gloves. Those are two defensive warriors who are going to play for a long time on Sundays. Allen was just brilliant in defeat tonight. Victory goes to the Tigers by 20, and Dabo is with Maria.
And a freezing cold orange Gatorade ice bath is so fitting because you clinched the Atlantic on the 10-year anniversary of your very first win at Clemson. How are you feeling right now,
Man,
Coach?
it's incredible. You know, first of all, I say 10 years ago, we got our first win here, and the good Lord has blessed us over the last 10 years, blessed me, and all the glory to God. I'm telling you, that group in 08 who had the courage and the will to win, and they couldn't win a division. All they could do was win a game and try to leave Clemson in a better place. So, hey, I love all that class of 2008. We wouldn't be here without you. Got a bunch of them here tonight. C.J. Spiller's here with us. But to be here tonight and make history and win 4 division titles, it's just thankful to the good Lord for giving me the opportunity to be here. And these seniors, amazing journey that they've been on, and know that we got a chance to go back to Charlotte now and play for another ACC championship. And I think they tied the senior record. So got senior day next week. It's a special group.
Tell me what's different about this group or very special that has allowed you guys to roll so well in the season.
Well, first of all, this is the biggest senior class I've had. These seniors and juniors, just unbelievable focused leadership. You know, there's leadership and then there's focused leadership. And these guys are incredible. They have led from day one. They've got a clear vision of what they want to do. And guys like this right here, you know, makes my job easy.
Guys like that right there. I mean, your defense, I think you only gave up 113 yards. So just tell me what you saw from guys like Christian Wilkins, who had 60 guys in this.
Well, first of all, also, I hope their quarterback's okay. Brown, man, I told Coach afterwards, I don't know what happened, but hopefully he's going to be okay. That really hurt him. But man, our defense played tremendously well. You know, they're not really built to come back from that type of lead. They're a run the ball offense, and I think they had 24 yards at the half. And so the credit goes to these guys in the trenches. If you can't win in the trenches against Boston College, you can't win. So credit goes to this D-line. I thought our guys on the back end played with good discipline.
All right, well, congratulations. Coach, I'll let you dry off. Talk to Christian for a little bit.
Always a good time to see you after the game.
There you go. What was the focus kind of coming into this game, knowing that you could clinch the division, knowing that it was the 10-year anniversary of your coach's first win?
I mean, it was just that. We did a good job all week of preparation. We just knew we had to be disciplined this week because of what they like to do. Guys just prepared. We knew we had an opportunity to get our 4th division in a row and a chance to punch our ticket to Charlotte. And I'm definitely grateful for the guys, man. They did such a good job. We just wanted it tonight, and we put a good product out here on the field tonight.
Coach calls it the Roy bus, the rest of y'all bus that you guys are riding through this season. What would you call what you're seeing right now from this team? I mean,
we're just a team that fights. We got a lot of leadership. I'm happy for myself and all the other seniors who put the time in. 4 or 5 long years of hard work and just giving their all to this program. So it's definitely great to see the results of that.
I talked to your brother Aaron. Apparently had 60 family members up in the stands today.
I finished with about 80 tickets. So about 80, I had to get about 80 tickets. So it was definitely great to play in front of the home crowd. This is definitely special to me. I'm going to take this in right now. Just enjoy this because obviously I grew up about an hour away from here. So this is definitely a special night for me.
Well, congratulations on the win, Christian.
Thank you so much. All right, you take care.
And players get 2 tickets. You got to round up a bunch of players' tickets to account for 80, but in front of his home folks, great performance. Lawrence takes care of business, and Clemson does win the ACC Atlantic Division for the 4th consecutive year. If you look at streaks of 4+ division titles, Alabama with that active streak, there's a little bit of an asterisk. They got a share of the division title, of course, when Auburn beat him, but Auburn represented the West in the championship game, and that's an impressive group. Look at that.
Yeah.
No sign of stopping, by the way.
No, not at all. Some great teams and just class acts, by the way, from both teams after the game, coming together and sharing some time with each other and acknowledge both teams' efforts. So tough loss for BC, big win for Clemson. And I thought what Christian Wilkins just said to Maria is something to remember. That entire defensive line decided to come back for moments like tonight. They wanted to come back to win a championship, and this is one of those first steps to get to Charlotte. After Charlotte, there's bigger obstacles and opportunities out there, but this team is very focused. This is laser focused with a veteran bunch.
Collective leadership, more leaders than even that Watson-led championship team, and tremendous chemistry. It's all coming together for Clemson. They got Duke up next, and then South Carolina, and then the ACC championship game, and probably a game or 2 beyond that. So take a look at your top 4.
Yeah, I think it's probably most people's top 4. I'd have Alabama at the top. I'd have Clemson right there at 2. Notre Dame at 3 and Michigan at 4. I think that's probably what most people would have. Maybe Georgia sitting there as one of the next team.
Get Georgia,
and then Oklahoma probably right in that area at 5 and 6.
But these teams, you feel, control their destiny.
I do.
Yeah. Well, we shall see if anybody can derail Clemson. Wilkins, with all those friends and family watching here in New England, wins his homecoming game, and his defensive teammates put on a stellar performance against an Eagles offense that was shorthanded after the first series. So no shakeup this Saturday in college football. The Tigers head south, still perfect on the season. Game produced by Bill Bunnell, directed by Derek Mobley. Thanks to our entire crew, to Darren Brown, Mike Black, Mark Amento, Dave Katai here in the booth helping out as always. Cal USC in action over on ESPN right now, but up next right here, Matt Berry and the Ford Wrap-Up Show. Davos Tigers win it by 20.